Hello, my name is Pavneet Singh, and I'll be your instructor for the project Create a Cryptocurrency Website CoinMarketCap Clone. So a little intro about myself. I'm from Pune. I have about 7 years of experience in building web and mobile applications. For the past 3 years, I've been building a lot of blockchain solutions for different clients in the world. Some of the solutions include a Cardano blockchain explorer as well as an Ethereum blockchain explorer. I've also built a Litecoin price website which displays real-time price of Litecoin, the 24-hour high, low, the change, and the market cap, as well as the chart of their historical data. There's another website that I've done which is CoinMarketCap, which displays real-time cryptocurrency rates. This is something similar to what we'll be developing in the project. This displays a list of almost 1,000 different currencies and the price, as well as the market cap, the change, and everything. I've developed a cryptocurrency trading game which is called Hybrid on Crypto. In this, you would get virtual currencies of about $10,000, and you can trade and compete with other people. As of now, the person who's ranked first has $13,000 as his net worth for this particular season. There's another project that I've done called Crypto Back Data. This is basically a data download system for cryptocurrencies where you can just specify what exchange you want the data from, and you can download the historical data from almost 50 plus exchanges. We've got globalcoins.io, which is again a cryptocurrency pricing website, which is exactly similar to CoinMarketPrice and actually similar to what we'll develop. And we also have the app of CoinMarketPrice on the iOS App Store as well. So that's just something that I've done. There are a lot more projects, but in general, for this project, you would need Bootstrap, you need JavaScript, and some of PHP. But yeah, it's not necessary to know PHP. I would help you explain the steps to save data into the database, and just go ahead with the project. So what will you learn in this project? In this project, you'd be going through almost 5 different sessions, which would include the first session would include the basics of cryptocurrency. So we just learn of how cryptocurrencies work, what was the origin story of Bitcoin, what actually is blockchain, how data is being stored, and the whole idea of blockchain. In session 2, we continue with building the website for CoinMarketCap. We fetch real-time prices and just save it to the database. We create the database, we handle the database, we'll update it with cron jobs, and that's something that we are going to do in session 2. Session 3 would include building the front-end layout. We'd create the responsive layout of the system. That would be done with Bootstrap. We'd add elements, we'd finalize the layout, we'll check what all is needed in the layout and just use it to develop the website. Session 4 would include integrating that front end that we developed with fetching the data from the database and displaying it on the website. So it would be just adding colors, changing the schemes. So if a percentage change is going above 0%, we'd make it positive and we'll change it to green. We'd also add the sorting and searching filter into it, so that way you'd be able to search a particular currency. And all in all, we'll summarize in session 5 with just finalizing everything. We'd add some advertisement blocks, we'd add Google Ads. We'd also create a blog, so that way you can always update your blog and just create content. And finally, we'll just make the website live. So what would you need in this project? One thing I would like to tell you that we'd be giving out free web hosting along with this project to just practice the contents of the course. So that way you don't need to purchase, you don't need to install anything. We'd help you, I'd personally help you create a cPanel account and everything from scratch, from uploading files, creating databases. You'd need to have a little bit of knowledge of HTML, CSS, if not particularly Bootstrap, but yeah, knowledge of HTML, CSS, JavaScript is needed. PHP would be a part of the project, but would be mainly in fetching the project, fetching the data for different currencies, and storing it into the MySQL database. So these are just the basic requirements that you need to know. It's not necessary you are an advanced user who knows these very well. You can just be a beginner and you can just learn the project. And like, how do you get your free web hosting? You just have to visit the following link and just sign up with your username and credentials, and we just send you your you just have to go to this website. You need to enter your name, you need to enter your email address, and you can enter your username and create your account, and we would send you an email with the credentials for your web hosting. You can continue. I'll create a new video of how to get a free web hosting, how to get started in the next session, and that way you'd have a clear idea of what to do with the web hosting and how to get along with it. Alright, so let's get started with the project. Hope you enjoy the contents, and if you have any questions, you can obviously address them in chat. Thank you. Alright, so let's get started with the course. The first thing that you'll need in this course would be the free web hosting. So I'll show you the steps to get registered on the free web hosting. So you have to go to vblockchain.space. After that, you will see a sign up page. You just have to enter your credentials, your basic information. So I'll just enter my information, my email, and my username. Alright, so if there's an existing account with that username, you would not be able to sign up. You just have to change the username. Because what happens is usually there are a lot of usernames that would be generated on the same server, so it's recommended you choose a unique username. So once you're signed up, you'll receive an email and you'll be redirected to the course. Alright, so over here I got this email which has got the link, the username and the password. All you have to do is visit this link. Alright, so one thing you'll see is the privacy error. So although this is an error, you have to go to advanced and then proceed with the unsafe method. I'll tell you why, because the SSL certificate has not been provisioned as of yet for this domain. I'll show you the steps how to provision it, and then after a while, probably an hour or so, you would not be getting this error message. So let me just log in. Alright, so login successful. Okay, so let's get this error message out first. So I'll just show you what all you get in this. So you'd get MySQL account, a database basically. You'd have file storage for storing your files on the server, and you'd also get an SSL certificate as well as cron jobs. You can change the style, it's up to you. You can change your password. So that's just the basics that you'll need with this free web hosting. You go to SSL TLS status and then just enable all the domains. It's not necessary you enable all, but then just enable. It says auto SSL is in progress. So if it's not, you'd see an option to run auto SSL. You can do that. So this will run the auto SSL and you'd get it probably in an hour or so. So after that, you can you'd not see this HTTPS error message. Alright, so that's just the basics of getting your web hosting. I'll just go to the link of accessing it. So just a basic access to the web hosting. As of now, there is nothing. I'll go to file manager and create an HTML file over here. Okay, and I'll do index.html and just Google edit it. I'll do sample HTML code. Okay, and let's take an example from W3 schools. Alright, HTML document, just copy this and paste it. Save changes and just refresh the page. Alright, that works. So this is the first section of the free web hosting. You'd get a free web hosting, you'll receive a password, and you can start continue working on the course once you are once you're ready with the hosting. you can view the next videos. Alright, so this video is going to be all about knowing the basics of cryptocurrencies, knowing what is Bitcoin, how it was created, how it all began, who created Bitcoin, what are the benefits of having a decentralized currency, what is blockchain, what are altcoins, like what are the different currencies in the crypto market, is cryptocurrency trading legal or illegal, or owning cryptocurrencies, is it legal or illegal? And then finally we'll go through the process of investing into cryptocurrencies. So let's get started with the first section. What is Bitcoin? Alright, so in November 2008, a paper was posted to a cryptographic mailing list under the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. He wrote a paper called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Basically what he proposed over here was to have a system which was integrated with cryptographic signatures, and this system would actually not need an intermediary such as a financial institution, which is a bank or a government. Say I want to transfer money from from a US dollar account to a European euro account, and well, for instance, as of now, we have to go through the Western Union or MoneyGram to do this transaction. What he proposed was to have a decentralized cryptographic system where there would be no need of the intermediary. So he wrote this paper, and it's basically a version where cash or payments could be transferred across borders, and this was the basic idea behind it. So your transaction would be hashed or turned into cryptographic signatures, and it would be sent over a distributed network. So in that distributed network, you would have a lot of computers, which would be called as nodes, and if the transaction is verified, it would get stored in something called as a blockchain. We'd go through the blockchain, how it works, what is the blockchain in the next few minutes. But the whole idea behind creating Bitcoin was to remove the middleman. Alright, so this happened in November 2008. In January 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto worked out on the Bitcoin code, and he released the first open source Bitcoin client. At that point of time, the reward of one block was 50 Bitcoins. So basically, if a computer or a node was doing some work, it was rewarded with some Bitcoins. So new Bitcoins used to create, and the first rewards or the first blocks used to give about 50 Bitcoins in return. Let's see the block reward as of now. So the current block reward is 12.5 Bitcoins. That is, every 4 years, the code of the Bitcoin was written in such a way that every 4 years, Bitcoins reward, the coin rewards that you would get, would reduce by half. So if 2008 was, or 2009 was 50 Bitcoins, 2012 or 13 would have been 25, 2016, 17 would have been 12.5, and the next ETA for halving of Bitcoin, or halving the rewards of Bitcoin, is 2020. That means every time a block is solved or transactions are verified and the block is created, the reward that a miner or a computer that does the work to verify the transaction is going to reduce to 6.25 Bitcoin. And this is going to go on till the last decimal of Bitcoin, which is around 0 and then 6 zeros and then 1. So it's going to half every 4 years, and it's going to go on till the reward is 1 Satoshi. So that's the whole idea of Bitcoin. In May 2010, this was the time when 10,000 Bitcoins were spent on a pizza. So this was the first real world transaction of Bitcoins to take place in Jacksonville, Florida, where a programmer offered to pay 10,000 Bitcoins for a pizza. At that time, the rate of 10,000 Bitcoins was $25. In today's value, it's about $63 million. So that's the real truth of Bitcoin. All right, so let's move on. In July 2010, the value of Bitcoin increased tenfold over a 5-day period. Like you see, volatility was there even at the beginning of times. So it went from less than 1 cent to 8 cents. And in February 2011, Bitcoin actually reached $1. So that was the time if you've bought 100 Bitcoins, it would have been $63,000 as of now. No, it would have been $630,000. All right. It reaches a parity with US dollars for the first time in February 2011. In 2012, India's first Bitcoin exchange was launched, and in 2013, the total market cap of Bitcoin actually reached $1 billion. That means this was the time when Bitcoin was actually really popular. I'll just show you the graph of Bitcoin in the year 2013, and you'll realize that was the first high of Bitcoin at that time. So let's just zoom in over here and just look at the price of Bitcoin. Had skyrocketed to $1,100 at a point in 2013. So in May 2013 itself, the first Bitcoin ATM was unveiled in San Diego, and that was the time in 2013 when Bitcoin went above $1,000. In 2014, Bitcoin is accepted by Microsoft, PayPal, and a lot of other companies in the world. In 2015, Bitcoin is a commodity according to the Commission Futures Trading Commission. Again, in 2015, the creator of Bitcoin was nominated for the Nobel Prize in Economics. So this was a good step in, or a stepping stone in the history of Bitcoin. In December 2016, so in this time, Bitcoin had gone down to from $1,000 to $200, and it was around the range of $200, $300, $400 between 2015 and 16. But as we see in most of the Decembers since 2013, the price of Bitcoin in 2016 was around $900. So that was a really good high to end in 2016. In 2017, the Bitcoin price just skyrocketed. There was basically 2017 was the year of cryptocurrencies, where all the other currencies, including Bitcoin, we'll talk about other currencies in a few minutes, but they reached $19,500. So this was a time where Bitcoin was really popular into a lot of people. Everyone was talking crypto and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. All right, so this is just a base idea of what Bitcoin is. So what do you think would have caused the Bitcoin revolution, as we can say, to go so high, and the cost of one Bitcoin to reach $20,000? Let's look at the benefits of Bitcoin. So what is so unique about Bitcoin? The first thing is that it's completely decentralized. So it is a peer-to-peer currency. That means there's no financial institution controlling the creation and maintenance of currencies. This basically means that like a government prints notes, it is responsible for handling and controlling the currencies. So in terms of Bitcoin, there was no single person creating a currency. It was basically a system where it was automatically generated with computer algorithm. And one good thing was that it cannot be manipulated. So that's the whole idea of Bitcoin, where cryptographic signatures would basically be able to handle the transactions and control the creation of cryptocurrencies in terms of Bitcoin. You own everything. So if there is no bank or financial institution controlling your currencies, you'd be owning everything. So you'll be having a wallet There are different wallets out there, blockchain.info, Jax. They're the popular names in Bitcoin wallets. You'd be basically having control over your currency. That means it needn't be that you store your money in some bank or some funds. It is basically that you are your own bank, and you can remove and send currencies to anyone at any point of time in the day. And finally, borders are not defined. So say you want to transfer money from America to Australia. It's not a problem with Bitcoin. Bitcoin can just send your money from one account to from one wallet to another in a matter of seconds or minutes, and you don't need to go to a transferring mediary to do that. So that's one good thing about Bitcoin. Borders are not defined at all. What is the underlying technology that runs behind Bitcoin? So Bitcoin was the first of its kind. So what is the underlying technology, which is called blockchain? Let's have a look. All right. So blockchain is basically consider a chain of blocks. That's what it means. It's a chain of blocks. These blocks, so over here in the center, you can see it's a chain of blocks, and each block basically has a lot of transactions stored into it. So it has cryptographic signatures and hashes of a lot of transactions that are being stored into it. So let's just go through the life cycle of a blockchain transaction on Bitcoin. All right. So someone requests a transaction. Say I want to transfer 1 Bitcoin from my wallet to your wallet. So I send a transaction of 1 Bitcoin to your wallet. So each wallet has a public key, or let's say an address. I'm sending some money to an address. In terms of blockchain, this request or this transaction would be broadcasted on a peer-to-peer network consisting of computers known as nodes. This transaction would basically be sent over the internet to a blockchain or a Bitcoin node. Each node would consist of all the transactions which are there on the Bitcoin network, and it would validate that transaction. So it would check my balances. So there would be a lot of backend algorithms that will be running in the backend where it would just validate that this transaction is indeed a valid transaction. It's going to a valid address. It's coming from a valid address. So a lot of things would be involved in confirming this transaction and verifying that it indeed is a valid transaction. And once this validation process is completed, it's going to go through a lot of computers. So since it is a distributed network, it's going to go through a lot of computers or nodes in the Bitcoin network. And this would basically verify the transaction. Each node would verify the transaction and forward it to the next node till it reaches you. All right. So a verified transaction can involve cryptocurrency, contracts, records, and other information. So let's just look at the cryptocurrency point of things. It has no intrinsic value, that it is not really redeemable for another commodity such as gold. It has no physical form. Obviously, cryptocurrency is a virtual currency. It is a decentralized currency. It is shown on your computer or a mobile or a wallet. It does not have a physical form. It is not a physical coin as such, and its supply is not determined by a central bank. That means the network is completely decentralized. So no bank can actually set a limit to how many cryptocurrencies can be given out at a certain point of time. It is all done by an algorithm. So once this transaction that you've sent is sent through to the Bitcoin network and it's validated and you receive a coins, it is stored in a public distributed ledger, or you can call it a storage, in a block. So each block would be having a lot of different transactions stored onto it. So these transactions combine together to create a new block of data for the ledger, and this block would be attached to the current existing blockchain, and it's going to be residing on all the different computers that are running the Bitcoin node. So if there are 100 different current computers that are running Bitcoin node, you will have 100 different places where the blockchain is saved, and that's one of the reasons why the blockchain is permanent and unalterable, because once the transaction on the block is confirmed and saved, that much amount of computing power would be needed to hack into a Bitcoin network. Let's just have a look at the Bitcoin network as of now. Let's just Google Bitcoin network. All right, Bitcoin network. All right, let's search for Bitcoin network hash rate. Okay, blockchain.com. So this is one of the leading providers of Bitcoin network, and the number of hashes, or the hash rate, is the number of computing power that is being put into the Bitcoin network per second. So if you see all-time Bitcoin network hash rate, you would see that in July 2013 it was just 120 terahashes of hash rate were there in the Bitcoin network. But as of now, if you see in the last 30 days, it has got over 35 million terahashes of power in the Bitcoin network. So that's the scale on which the Bitcoin network is operating. So in order to hack the Bitcoin blockchain, you would need computing power of more than 38 or 35 million terahashes, and that's a huge. Even supercomputers won't be able to process that much of data at one point of time. All right, so this is the whole idea of the blockchain. Transactions are there, transactions are validated, it gets stored on the blockchain. All right, so what is the blockchain technology? It's a digital ledger which keeps a record of all the transactions taking place on a peer-to-peer network. All information is transferred by a blockchain and encrypted, and every occurrence is recorded, meaning that it cannot be altered. So every transaction on the blockchain is stored into cryptographic hashes. Let's see the Bitcoin hashing algorithm. So the Bitcoin hashing algorithm is an SHA-256 hash algorithm. It takes input of blocks of 512 bits, that is 64 bytes, and combines data cryptographically and generates a 256 bit or 32 byte output. That means every transaction, every message that is going over the Bitcoin network is being hashed and stored with the SHA-256 hashing algorithm. So it's decentralized. That means there is no need for any central certifying authority. It can be used for much more than transfer of currency. It can be used for contracts, records, other kinds of data can be shared on the blockchain. So it's not just currency that can be transferred. One thing that we have to realize is that Bitcoin is actually a proof of concept, where Satoshi Nakamoto was proving that actually value can be transferred across borders without there being a central financial institution in a country. All right, so encrypted information can be shared across multiple providers without risk of privacy breach. So in terms of hacking and lots of dollars being lost and people getting scammed with regular fiat currencies, technologies such as Bitcoin and blockchain would help in preventing these problems in the future, hopefully. All right, so we heard all about Bitcoin, but what are altcoins? So all of the currencies which are apart from Bitcoin, they are called altcoins. So there are a lot of different currencies in the cryptocurrency universe. So there's Ethereum, there's Dash, there is IOTA, there's Litecoin, there's Ripple, we've got Monero, Neo, we've got Cardano, we have Stellar, we also have Bitcoin Cash, which is actually a Bitcoin clone. So there are a ton of different currencies which are there on the Bitcoin market, and on the cryptocurrency market. And these different currencies actually have different sort of technology which is running on their own blockchain. So all the currencies which were created after Bitcoin are called altcoins. All right. So altcoins are currencies which run on a different technology other than Bitcoin and have their own blockchain. So Ethereum has its own blockchain, and their advantage is that on Ethereum blockchain you're able to run smart contracts, you're able to run distributed applications. Bitcoin's unique aspect is actually peer-to-peer transactions. Dash's unique aspect is that it's a Bitcoin-based currency, but the speed of transaction on Dash is pretty fast. So it's faster than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually slow in terms of confirming transactions and creating a Bitcoin block. But in terms of Dash, it's quite unique because it's similar to Bitcoin, but it features faster transaction processing. So each currency is backed by a unique technology and a blockchain, which is the backbone of the technology. So let's just have a look on CoinMarketCap and just go through a brief overview of what currencies are and what is the technology behind it. So Ripple is actually it's more of a cross-border transaction processing system where you would be able to convert currencies from your bank account and send it to someone. So that's a really good initiative, and a really big cryptocurrency. Actually, it's got a market cap of over $17 billion. Litecoin is actually a Bitcoin clone, but it's considered as a cryptographics. It's considered as crypto silver. We've got IOTA, which is basically used in IoT devices. So used in smart devices and smart technologies where transactions can actually be performed, making smart decisions, and payments can be processed over the network. So this is so Binance Coin is actually a coin of a Binance exchange. We talk about crypto exchanges ahead. Ethereum Classic is a fork of the Ethereum blockchain, in fact, and that's the whole idea behind Ethereum Classic. We talk more about it as we proceed with the project. So there are a ton of different currencies which are there on the market, and each of them have a unique aspect. Each of them have a unique trend. Each of them have a unique feature which makes them different from Bitcoin and other currencies. All right. So is Bitcoin legal, and should you invest in cryptocurrencies? So there are 1,500 currencies in existence. Some of them are really good and they are backed by excellent blockchain technology, whereas some are not that good. So they're developed by scammers and fraudsters who are trying to take your money and just indeed trying the quick earning methods. So there are different currencies which do not have a good technology behind it. They're just they're just created to make money. So it is similar to investing money into the stock market, but it has a greater volatility. That means you'd be getting more returns. Probably, I mean, it's a very skeptical market, to be honest. So at one moment you might have a $500 profit. At the next you might have a $300 loss. So prediction of the price of a cryptocurrency is quite difficult, and a lot of experts try to get to that magical number of what the price will be after 6 months, what the price will be after a year, but most of them fail because predicting the price of a cryptocurrency is really difficult. All right, so let's just have a look at the legal status of Bitcoin. So the legal status varies substantially because countries are really skeptical about a new technology, and a lot of different criminal activities can be performed with cryptocurrencies. But then there are legal procedures that can be followed. So it varies from different countries and is still undefined or changing in many of them. So majority of the countries don't make use of Bitcoin itself illegal, but then they've changed its status from money or currency to a commodity. So a commodity or an asset. So while some countries have explicitly allowed its use in trades, others have banned it. So various government agencies and courts have classified Bitcoins differently. So there's this link where you can check, which you can check actually, and know which countries it's legal and which country it is not. So it's legal in United States partially, it's legal in Canada. it is called as a non-harmful mean of transaction in Australia. In Europe, there are different countries which are in the European Union and they have accepted it. Some have not. It depends on what the status is. In Singapore, it is declared has declared Bitcoin as a good to buy another, thus determining the taxation need. And there are ATMs in Singapore as well. In Japan itself, Bitcoin is legal and they have their own exchanges. In a lot of different currencies, it's illegal actually. So Pakistan is one country where Bitcoin trading is illegal. Other different countries where Bitcoin is actually considered as an illegal currency or commodity. There's Bangladesh where this currency is illegal. So should you invest in cryptocurrencies? Well, I'd say investment in anything is a risk factor. So if in 2017 the market cap of cryptocurrencies went from 21 billion to over 500 billion, and then now it's back to 250 billion. So it's a risk reward sort of a thing where you should be really smart in investment. You should be really active into the market, knowing what the trends are. So the cryptocurrency market is basically a news based market where one small news can trigger a lot of change in the price. So a while ago, say Bithumb was hacked and the price of Bitcoin went from around 7,500 to around $6,000. So it's more of a skeptical news-based market, but as the time goes on, the market is maturing a lot. So it's not just about Bitcoin anymore. There are a lot of different currencies, there are a lot of different technologies, and Bitcoin itself is considered as the father of all the currencies. So a lot of different currencies have actually performed really well. In my opinion, we just go through some of the currencies which were let's just have a look at Ethereum in the past 2 years. We'd have a look at Monero is another good coin. Okay, let's just look at these two different currencies and let's just have a look at their prices. So in January 2017, price of one Ethereum was around $10, but in December 2017, that rate went over $1,200. So that's how good technologies and good coins have gone. So in terms of investment, you should be smart. You should not invest all your money into cryptocurrencies because it's a very skeptical market, even though it's maturing as we speak, but it's a skeptical and volatile market. So invest only as much as you can afford to lose. That's one good rule of thumb when investing in cryptocurrencies. All right, so popular cryptocurrencies, cryptocurrency exchanges are GDAX. We've got Bitfinex, we have Bittrex, Binance, we've got Kraken, Coinex. We'll just open a few of them. Let's have a look at Binance. So you can just trade your currencies over here, and Bittrex in the background. So Binance, you've got a lot of different. It's one of the major cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. If we have a look at the 24-hour volume, actually over here, you'd see that Binance is the top trading exchange where the most of the volume is actually with Binance. Then there's Coinex, there's OKEX, we've got Bittrex, we've got Bitfinex. So there are a lot of different exchanges. Let's have a look at Binance. It trades pairs of Ethereum and BTC. It trades pair of Tron. We've got Cardano over here. We've got Ripple. There are Ethereum markets where you can trade different currencies with Ethereum. There are USD markets, USDT, which is actually a similar sort of currency to the US dollar, but it was made in a way that transaction in US dollars would be simpler, since each USDT or tether which is in existence is backed by each dollar. At least that's what they say on their website. We've got Bittrex, which is a good cryptocurrency exchange. We also have Bitfinex. So these are some examples of a cryptocurrency exchange where you'd be able to trade different cryptocurrencies at different points of time. So there's no time limit. You can just log on, sign up based on what country you're in. You'd have to verify which country you're in, and just choose a suitable crypto exchange if you're willing to invest into it. All right, so just an overview that these exchanges that I showed are more centralized exchanges, that they are being governed by more of the government involved, and the people involved are part of a country, and they need to follow the regulations of the country. So consider a decentralized exchange. This is something. So the centralized currencies are more prone to hacks. You hear a lot of news that this exchange was hacked. Bithumb was hacked at one point of time. Polnix was under attack. A lot of money was hacked and stolen during that time. There were different times where big exchanges, Binance in recent times, Binance's API was hacked, and although they recovered all the coins, there was a possibility of hack. So in looking at this trend, people started developing decentralized exchanges. So IDEX is one good decentralized exchange, which is in which there is no central authority governing the market. So there's some disadvantages to decentralized exchanges, but the advantage is that it's basically unhackable because it's on the blockchain. So that's one major reason why you should trade on decentralized exchanges, although they are slow. But that's one major reason to trade on a decentralized exchange. So all in all, we got to know about what Bitcoin really was, how it started, what are its benefits, what is the technology that runs behind Bitcoin, what are different coins apart from Bitcoin, the legal status of Bitcoin, and should you actually invest into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So just a basic overview of the cryptocurrency technology and the blockchain technology. But should you have any questions, you can obviously contact me or address them in chat. In this video, we'll talk about setting up your development environment, and just getting everything ready to start developing. We'll link our FTP account to the server. We'll also create a MySQL database. We'll check the connection to the database. So let's get started. So let's just visit the link you used. You've gotten into email, and you used to sign up over here with the username. So let's just visit my link. Okay, that's the link. That's the front end of the link. We have to go to the backend, so it would be sing.vblockchain.base/cpanel. So by now you'll see that the HTTPS error has gone, and credentials which you get on your email, and then log in. After that, you'll see a lot of different things over here. You have got different options to work on with the database and the files. So you've got the file manager, you've got FTP accounts, you've got FTP connections, you've got Git version control. You can use that if you want to control versions of the software that you develop. We've got PHP MyAdmin, which will help in managing the databases easily, that without any commands or anything. You do have to enter some SQL queries, but then most of the things is automated with user interfaces. You've got MySQL databases. You've got the wizard to set up your database, and you've got remote MySQL. We've got errors in the metrics. You can see whatever errors you get on your website. You've got an SSH access. You've got SSL TLS. You've got SSL TLS status. That's something that we had a look at. We've got cron jobs, which we will use to automate different processes of something that we need to run every 10 minutes, every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes. You'll obviously not visit that link every 30 minutes and keep refreshing. So that's something which is automated. You can change your password over here. You can change the style, and you've got the user manager. All right, so let's just set up our FTP account. To do that, you have to download something called as FileZilla. have to go to this link and you have to download the client. So once you download the client, and you just have to select whatever version of operating system that you have. I've got Windows, so I'll download the Windows version and download FileZilla. You have to just go through the standard installation process after that. Alright, I'm not sure the installation process, I'll just show what's the output of it. Alright, so once you run FileZilla, you'll see the screen, and over here you'll have some information. You don't have to worry about all the specifics, but let me just show you how to link your website to the FTP account. So over here, ignore these and you click on new site, enter the name VBlockchain space. You can enter any name actually, and over here FTP protocol is FTP. That's not a problem. The host should be your link. So if it's pavneetsingh.vblockchain.space or martin.vblockchain.space or any xyz.vblockchain.space, you just have to enter that over here. Encryption, no, don't worry about it. Logon type would be normal. The user would be whatever is the first few characters before the dot. So if it's abc.vblockchain.space, you'll enter abc over here. The password is whatever password you have, so that's mine, and let's just click on connect. Alright, so it's connected and it has shown me all the files which are there on the server. You have to go to public HTML and you'll see that index.html file that we created. Okay, so let's edit that. To do that, before that, you need to download a text editor. You can download any text editor in the world, but I usually prefer Sublime Text. So let's go to Sublime Text download, and let's download the latest version, which is Sublime Text 3 if I'm not wrong. Okay, and you can download the one for Windows 64 or any OS that you have. It's supporting Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Alright, so once that's done and you download and install that, you have to set the default editor for FileZilla. So go to edit, you go to settings. After that, you have to go to file editing, and over here I've selected, so you'd be using the default system editor. So the default editor, you can use a custom editor, then browse. You have to go to local, see if it's a 64-bit system or whatever the place where executable is. You just have to select the Sublime Text.exe, and that's about it. So and select OK. Alright, so it's going to use Sublime Text for all the tasks that you have. Okay, so we've got our index.html file over here. Let's just right click that, view or edit. Alright, so file transfer successful. This is the code that we'd written. Let's just revisit that link. This is where we are. Let's just try to refresh it. Let's get rid of that. And let's just try to edit. Let's just try to edit something. So we'll do coin market cap clone. And I am creating a coin market cap clone website. Alright. So you just have to get back to FileZilla and click on yes. Let me do that again. So once you've edited something, you click on Control S to save it, and then over here you just have to click on yes to upload the file changes to the server. And once that's done, it's going to refresh. You just have to refresh that page, and over here you've got the text that you've changed onto the website that you have. All right, so once that's done and you're sure that your system is working, you have to go to your cPanel and go to MySQL. Let's go to the wizard, that's simpler. Okay. Alright, so over here it's going to ask you to create a database. You can enter the database name as CoinMarketCap. Okay, that works. So it's going to be Pavneet S underscore CoinMarketCap. It's going to be any prefix that you have in your username. Let's go to the next step. Alright, so you need to create a user for your database. So in MySQL, everything works. Every database has to have a user attached to it. So we'll create a user. I'll say coin user. You can have or just coin. That also works fine. I think it's got 7 characters limit. Alright, so password, you can enter any password. I'll just enter a default one. That's up to you. It must be strong, at least strong enough. 69, 65. Let's say alright, so let's create the user. After that, you'll see a permission screen. Over here, you need to have all permissions to that user. So basically, this is a screen where it says that this user has all privileges to this database. So our database name is Pavneet S underscore CoinMarketCap, and the user is Pavneet S underscore coin. Alright, so this user has all the permissions to do all these operations, and just click on next step. Alright, so your database is created. You can just go to your home and just see your MySQL database. So over here you can see that the database is there, the user is there, and you've got all of these things. Alright, so since your database is created, you can now actually go to PHPMyAdmin and have a look at all the features that are there over there. So this would be your database that you will work on. You can create tables, you can search, you can import, export. You've got different operations going on. You can truncate things over there. As of now, you don't have anything in the database, so it's not going to work. Alright, so having all these features, we'll have a look at all those once we figure out if the front end of the website or the code that we're going to write to save things to the database is actually working fine. So let's just head over to FileZilla. Let's create a new file called test.php. Alright, so your file is created. You have to go and edit it. And then you'll need 4 parameters over here. So let's just start creating the file. So it's a PHP code, and you can do $dbHost equals to something, $username. So that's the username that we created. So database name, that's something. And let's just keep these values empty for now. Password equals to some parameter. So, oops. Alright, so we need to get these parameters from the place where we created the database. So let's just grab the database name from here. We've got the database user from here. So you've got 2 parameters which are there. The host name, or the DB host, would be localhost, since our remote or our SQL server is actually residing at the place where this code is being used or saved. So our host would be localhost, and the password which we entered while creating the database. This is not the login password. This is actually the password which you entered when creating the database. Okay, so I'll just enter that. All right, so now that this is done, let's create an MySQL connection. So we'll do $connection equals to new MySQLi. New MySQLi of $dbHost, $username, password, and the database name. All right, and over here we'll check if the connection is valid. So we'll do if $connection of connect underscore error. That means we have an error in the connection. We'll just echo connection failed. All right, and just echo the error message. All right, and if it's not a problem, it's going to echo connection successful. All right, so let's just save that, Control S, and go to this the file manager, the FTP manager, and click on yes. Then let's visit the link. Once that's completed, let's visit the link. So it's going to be pubnetSing.vblockchain.space/test.php, and connection is successful. So let's just try to see if we can just tinker around and see if the connection is unsuccessful. So let's just change the password to something else, and refresh. So it says connection failed, access denied for this user. So that means there is a problem and our code is actually working fine. So our connection is successful, and let's just reset it. And that's about it for this video. So in this video we'll be actually working with the CoinMarketCap and getting and fetching the data. We will be storing the data into databases, and just the overall code or the backend logic where the data is being stored, it's being updated every few minutes, and handling all the data input and output would be done in this video. All right, so proceeding with the project, let's just see what all is present on the existing CoinMarketCap website. We've got the top 100 cryptocurrencies. They're sorted by market cap. We've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the other currency names with their logos. We also have their market cap. Bitcoin has a market cap of around $116 billion. We've got the price, we have the volume 24 hours, the circulating supply in Bitcoin, and the percentage change in the last 24 hours. All right, so that's something that we have generalized, as well as this price graph of 7 days. All right, so that's something that is generalized all over the CoinMarketCap website. We've got the name, market cap, price, volume, supply, the change, and the graph. All right. And if you click on a particular website or a particular coin, it's going to show the same details, except we've got the graph, the markets, and the social pairs, the tools, etc. All right, so in order to do that, let's just and to proceed with the project, let's just have a look at the API of CoinMarketCap. Let's just scroll down, we go to API. Okay, so over here you'll see different endpoints for the API. So basically an API is a system where whatever data is being displayed on CoinMarketCap, it provides an endpoint or an access point for us to access that data and use that data. Alright, so we're just using it for demo purposes, and we're just creating a clone of what the website is already. All right. So over here we've got all the listings. This would basically display all the currencies that are present on the website. We've got the ticker. In this, basically we've got all the coins which are there. You can have limits to it. You can sort it by ID, you can sort it by price, you can sort it by name. We can set start and end limits. We also have we can structure it as an array if that's needed. We can convert it to a different currency, and we can convert it to Bitcoin as well. So all currency rates would be in Bitcoin. So what I'm planning to do is what for this project in fact is we'll display rates in two different currencies. One would be US dollars and one would be Bitcoin. All right, so let's just go through the whole process. If you want to search for a specific currency, you can get that as well. All the global data, like how many cryptocurrencies are there, what is the active what is the market cap, the total market cap, how much is the Bitcoin market cap, the percentage of market cap that is captured by Bitcoin. All right, so that's the whole idea of the API. Let's just click on a few of those links and see what it's all about. All right, we click on the listings, we click on the tickers, and we click on convert BTC. So these three are the ones that are sort of useful to us. Okay, so over here it's basically a JSON formatted data format in which the endpoint is giving results in a JSON format. JSON is a standard response method for APIs, and it's used widely in any sort of API that is there. So either it's JSON or it's XML. Some systems provide CSV, but it's totally up to what system we are using. JSON is really popular, and that's what is being used over here. So this is the listings where you get the ID, the name, the symbol, and the website slug. So ID is basically the identifier of that coin given by CoinMarketCap. It does not, it's not something that we can use or define. We can use it, but we cannot define it. All right. So we've got name, the symbol, BTC, and the website slug. That's something that we cannot use because it's basically, the slug is basically, it will be CoinMarketCap slash Bitcoin or something like that. Let's just have a look over here. So if we go over here, the website slug would be slash currency slash Bitcoin. So that's the whole idea behind the website slug. All right. So if we do slash currency slash namecoin, it's going to show namecoin. There it is. All right. So that's all about the listings. This is something that we are going to use a lot, at least in this part of the project, where we'd be fetching data from this endpoint and then storing it and then updating it. So these two, this and the next one, is something that we're going to use a lot. Okay, so in this we've got all the details about Bitcoin, or all the top 100 currencies which are there. All right, so we've got the name, we've got the symbol, we have the rank, we have the supply. We also have the total supply of the coins, the maximum supply. So Bitcoin has a maximum supply of 21 million coins. That's something we discussed in the first session on the blockchain topic. Current supply available is around 17 million. The price, as we saw on the website, the volume, the market cap, the percentage change in 1 hour, 24 hours, and 7 days. And it was last updated in this Unix timestamp. Timestamps are usually in the Unix format. We can convert them and use them as well, but this is the standardized format as well. Okay, so we've got Ethereum, we've got Ripple, and all the other currencies that they're formatted as a JSON object. All right, so that's all these values are in US dollars. So the quotes you can see, they are in US dollars. What we need is in US dollars as well as Bitcoin. So if we do convert equals to BTC, let's just remove the limit over here. So we'll see the top 100 currencies with their prices, as well as all the other details in US dollars as well as Bitcoin. Okay, so over here you can see BTC price is 1 for, obviously 1 Bitcoin is always equal to 1 Bitcoin. So after that, each currency has its value in Bitcoin. Obviously Ripple is going to be really less because of its price. Bitcoin Cash is 0.112, so almost 10th of a Bitcoin. Similarly, all currencies have the same structure: its ID, name, symbol, rank, all the other details, and the prices. Alright, so this is the data that we are going to use. Let's just try creating a sample file, nothing too complex, and let's just call, for now we'll just call the ticker method and see if it's returning some data on our website. So we'd be using this link that you have, and I'm sorry, and just formatting the data and viewing the data. So we'll just fetch the data from this link, and we'll see how it comes on our website. All right, so again, go to File Manager. Let's create a file. Okay, let's create a directory. We'll call it fetch data. Fetch data. All right. Okay, let's enter it and create a new file and say fetch.php. Okay, and then let's edit it. All right, let's just put in the PHP tags. Just a moment. All right, and then in order to fetch the data, we'll be using something called as curl. It's again the industry standard, open source, and widely used. It's been used by almost a lot of systems actually use curl. It supports a lot of protocols, and you can just transfer data from one place to another using this method. You can read more by just googling curl. So we'll be writing the PHP version of curl, which would fetch data from an HTTP method. So let's just write that function. You don't need to install anything. Everything is pre-installed. That's the beauty of having the hosting. You are just here to learn and not install things. All right. So let's just start fetching and storing. So we'll create a variable called $URL, and in this URL we'll have we'll have the fetched data link over here. All right, so our URL is this. Okay, so we'll be fetching data from this URL, and we'll be initializing curl. All right, and then we're going to set some parameters as we go. So we'll set the URL, we'll set the HTTP GET method, we'll set the return transfer, and we'll set the execute. So we'll actually execute the curl command, and then we'll store the data, whatever response we get from the URL, into a variable, and then we're going to use that variable in some way. Okay, so let's just proceed with just writing the code. Set opt, and we have $ch. The option would be URL opt underscore URL, and the value would be our URL. Okay, then we'll just copy this thing. All right, so the next thing that we have over here is curl opt underscore HTTP GET. Oops. And we'll set that as 1. Oops. Okay. And then we have called opt underscore return transfer true. All right, and then we'll just start executing the code. So let's do output equals to curl underscore exec $ch. Alright, so this will execute the code and save it into a variable called output. So PHP has this function. Okay, let's just print output and then just go ahead with that. Alright, so let's echo $output and see what's the output of it. Okay, so it's in the folder called fetch data and fetch.php. Okay, let's go over here, copy the whole thing, slash fetch data slash fetch.php. Okay, so as you can see, the data which was present in CoinMarketCap website is actually here on our website. So this is just fetching the data and storing it into a variable and echoing it. Now what we need to do is we need to format this data in such a way that it gets saved into the database that we created. So this is where the coding logic gets interesting, because we need to save each and every parameter into the database. That way we have a structured database and then we can display it on the front end. Alright, so in order to do that, PHP actually cannot parse JSON directly. I mean, there are ways to parse JSON, but then it's quite complicated until and unless you decode it and convert it into associative arrays. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so we'll do $output equals to JSON underscore decode $output. So this is actually going to save the output of the result that is returned from the link into the variable itself. So we don't need to waste space on another variable. Alright, so another thing that you need to note that arrays actually cannot be printed with an echo statement. Let's just try that. So since it's being decoded, JSON is being decoded and converted into an array, let's just try printing it. Alright, let's see. Alright, see over here you'll see an HTTP error 500 because this array cannot be actually printed out. So not to print that array, you have to use print underscore r, and then I think this should work. Okay. Alright, so you can see it's a standard class object, and you can actually access the data of all the currencies with this array. So you can just call the array element, and access the data. So now, as you can see over here, we've got the data working, but the few issues that we have with the data to access the other elements is that the ID is over here. So every element is being accessed by the ID. You can see we've got 52 for Ripple, we've got 1027 for Ethereum. So in order to do that, we have to first store the listings, right? So let's just call this and see what happens. Alright, Control S. It's in the data array itself, and try to refresh our call. Okay, so you can see that the standard class object ID, name and symbol as well as website slug is there. So we'd be trying to save the ID, the name and the symbol into our database, and then we'll fetch the ID from the database and we'll use that to store the information into the database. Alright, So let's do that. All right, so I'll just get rid of all these. We need that, we don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that. Right. Okay, let me just get everything started. Okay, so in the cPanel, you have to go to phpMyAdmin. All right, so in CoinMarketCap database, you have to create a table. All right, so over here we've got the ID, the name, the symbol. We can save the website slug if that's needed in the future. Let's just save it and then we link it to view the historical data on the CoinMarketCap website itself. All right, so we've got all this data and we need to save it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So we need 5 columns because I'll tell you why. We need to save one column key as the primary key. Although we can save the ID as the primary key, but I think it would be better for us to save the ID separately and then use our own ID. So we can call this listings as it is. All right, or we can call it coin list, coin underscore list. Okay, and go. All right, and over here we can name this coin ID. Let's not confuse that with the ID which is already there. And we select an auto increment.
So I sent the translation to your Alexa app.
Okay, somehow Alexa got triggered. All right. So we click on primary and we click go. So auto increment and then click go. This would be the ID. It's going to be an integer. That's the one which is over here. We have name, so we can do name, and we can do var character. So if it's a variable character, we need to specify the length. If it's just text, we don't need to specify the length. Let's just keep it as text. We've got symbol. All right, we know that the symbol is not going to be more than like 4 characters or 5 characters. So for the safe side, we'll keep the length as 7 characters. And finally, the website slug. So let's just do slug. Oops. And let's just keep that as text as well. So that's the creation of tables. We can use the storage engine as InnoDB or MyISM. It's just a matter of preference. I prefer InnoDB more. You can use that one as well. It's really up to you. Okay, let's just click save and see if there are any errors. Okay, so our database has one table now, which is called coin list. We've got the coin ID, the ID which we'll get from CoinMarketCap. We've got name, we have symbol, and we have the slug. Okay, so let's just start using this data and then fetching it and storing it. Let's just do that. Okay, so let's just print data of 0 and see what the result is. Since it's in an array of 0 and it's a sun class object of 0, or is it? Let's see. Okay, so at the index 0, we've got Bitcoin, which is ID, name, symbol, and the website slug. All right. Similarly, at index 1, we'd have some other currency which is there. All right. So let's just wait for it to transfer. All right. At index 1, we've got Litecoin, LTC, and LTC2. So the slug 2. All right, so as you can see the pattern, we've got 0 1 2. We cannot actually use this data to just continuously print it, so we'll write a for loop for it. Okay, so we'll write a for $I equals 0, so it starts from 0. $I is less than size of $output of data, $I plus plus, and let's just try printing this thing inside of the loop and see if it gives the same. So instead of 1, we'll use $I, and let's just give it a couple of breaks, so that way we know that the data is being separated and the for loop is running fine. Okay, all right, let me just click on yes, and that's done or not. Okay, all right, so you can see every currency has run through the for loop. They've got a lot of currencies. So that's the thing with cryptocurrencies. They have about 2,900 currencies, but only a few are the ones that are good enough. Out of them, I think around 40 to 50% of them are already scams, or already have shut down, or already are out of a market cap or a price. But they do have a list of all the coins that they have saved, which is a good thing. We'll just save all the coins and we'll use the ones that we need. Okay, so we will do we'll just start saving the data over here. So let's just include, so remember the config file that we created. Let's just go up one folder, and just, okay, there's no option to move it, so we'll edit it and then create a new file over to fetch data. We can use this as well, but it's better to have the backend where it is. Let's just copy this code, close it. It's up to you if you want to keep the test file. It's up to you totally. We'll create a file called config.php. all right, right click, edit, and paste it. And then instead of printing the else message, because we know the connection is successful, we don't need to show it in the front end. Let's just keep it unchecked for now. And over here, so we've got all the database connectivity in the config file right over here, and we've got it stored in the variable $connection. Okay, so over here what we'll do is we'll include config.php. okay, and let's see if we get the message as connection successful. Okay, that's saved. Refresh. You can see connection successful over here. So we don't need this message actually. We just need the database to be connected. So we'll just remove the else condition. If it's an error, we definitely need to see that error. That's why we need to have the connection. All right. Okay, so we've got the connection running. We've got the data over here. Let's just start saving the data into the database. All right, so let's write a query over here. We can comment this, and we can write a query of $SQL equals insert into the table name, which is coin_list. Okay, and we'll set the values that we need to show. So it's ID, we've got name, symbol, and slug. So ID, name, symbol, slug. All right, and the values. So Either we can directly access the values with the $output variable, or we can save it into individual variables. It's completely your preference. So let's just try if it runs without saving it into different variables. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Let's just try this method. So we do $output of data of $I. I'm quite sure this is not going to work, but it's worth giving a shot. Of ID. Okay, let's just try saving ID for now. That's not going to work either, so let's try saving it for everyone. So we've got ID, we have name, we have, what do we have? We've got the symbol, website underscore slug as well. And we have, let me just zoom this a bit. Okay, we've got website underscore slug. Okay, and semicolon. So we'll write this in an if condition, so if there's an error, we'll be able to see that error. So we'll do if $connection of query, and we'll enter our SQL query equal to true. Then that means it is successful. So we'll do if it's false, and then we'll print the error message, echo error dot connection of error. All right, and if it's false, so instead of doing this for all the variables, since we are just testing if it works, we can just do for one. So let's just try running that. Okay, it's connecting still. It's transferring. All right. Okay, so there's no error, it seems. Let's just see if it's actually saving to the database. Oh, so that's the problem. It is saving, but it's not saving the correct values. It's actually saving the data. So let's try removing these and see. Let's just try. Let's save it into variables. So $ID is this. $name is this. $symbol is this, and $slug is this. Okay, and let's just try quickly to get those variables out there. So we've got ID, we've got $name, we've got $symbol, and we've got $slug. Okay. Alright, let's try doing that again. In the meantime, we'll delete this entry because it's not valid. Okay, and that's saved. Let's run it. Okay, that works. Okay, so now we have the correct data. We've got the ID, the name, the symbol, and the slug. So we'll delete this again, and then we'll run it for the whole list. Okay, so let's just head over to our code, and then we write size of again $output of data. Okay, so in the meantime, our database will clear up. We'll have an empty database. If you want to clear up the whole database, I just clicked on delete. I'll just show you a way to clear up the whole database. So you go to operations and you empty the table. Just make sure you don't delete the table, because that is actually going to delete the structure as well. Empty will empty the data in the table. So empty the table and click on OK. Okay, so that's emptied. Go to coin list, and over here we'll just execute the code. So it's going to take a while because oh, we have error in MySQL syntax. So version near rewards for mine at line 1. Check the manual correspond to use at this section. Okay, let's see how much data has been saved. Okay, so we have actually 1617 coins, but oh, our symbol is not correct as well. So the symbol has ID 2. Wow. Okay, we'll replace that. Let's just have a look at this error. I think it's a bigger slug or something. Minor rewards token. I think it's a bigger slug, but we do have text out there. Let's have a look at our structure again. It's text, it's symbol. Okay, let's just try searching the API for this. Okay, we need to go to the listings API. Okay, so over here you can see that there's an apostrophe S, and that's the reason why it's not able to parse the name, and it's giving an error in the MySQL script. So what we need to do is we need to escape the real strings. So we do MySQL I underscore real underscore escape underscore strings dollar connection comma. So this should hopefully fix our problem. Let's truncate the table again by the time this saves. Truncate. Okay, table truncated. Okay, let's just try this and see if we get any errors. Okay, so it's real escape string, I believe. Okay, save and run the code. Alright, so no errors this time because that worked. And let's just see our data over here. So we've got 1619 coins, and yeah, I mean that's the whole data for the listings. So we've got 65 pages. You can have 500 rows per page. It'll take time to parse because that's how PHP MyAdmin is. You can see that you've got the data of all the coins which are there. I think you also get the one which gave the error. BitConnect is over here as well. Okay, so we do have the IDs and the name and the symbol as well as the slug. So let's just start fetching the data from the convert equals to BTC or the tickers API call. So we'll do the same thing over here. So we've got the curl call. We have the output. We've run the output through the for loop, but that's not the case that'll happen in actually fetching and storing the data from the tickers API. So we'll call this new file as fetch tickers. Alright, and then we'll edit it. Okay, so we'll just get the data or the code that we had already written before for curl, paste it over here and close it. and call this function or this URL and save it exactly the same like we did before. Okay, and then we'll print _r $output of data. And see what the result is. Fetch data. Is it fetch ticker? Fetch tickers.php. Alright. Pretty sure we did the right thing. Okay, so it's returning the result of the tickers. Now what we need to do is try to save this into a database. So in order to do that, since this is an associative array and even still it is linked with the IDs, so a better way, instead of fetching from the database and then refetching it, is to use two small lines called for each, and let's just try to do that. It's going to be a key value pair, so we do for. Okay, I got rid of that. Let's just comment it for now, and then we'll do for $output of data as $key value $value. Let's just print the keys for now. Go $key. Okay, and let's just have a line break as well. Save that. So basically it should print 1 and then 1027 and so on. Let's have a look. Oh, we have an error. So it should be for each. Okay, so you can see the IDs are being printed over here, and now we have the data which we need, or the key that we need to get the data from the IDs. So say we do this print _r over here, but for the data and the $key, and we just put line breaks over here and see what the result is. Okay, so as you can see, in each line you will see the data for Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then each line has its own cryptocurrency data. So so we do have the data being processed as individual data elements. So let's just save it into variables. We have the ID already. We have okay, let's just save it into a new table just for the namesake, the ID, the name. We have the symbol, we need the website slug, we've got the rank, we've got circulating supply, we have total supply, the max supply, we've got the quotes. We'll try accessing those quotes as well. We have the percentage change for that particular quote in 24 hours, the 7 days, and we have the percentage change for Bitcoin. Obviously it's going to be 0 because 1 Bitcoin is obviously 1 Bitcoin, and we have the last updated. So let's just try to save it into variables and then print it, and after that we'll create a table. So we'll do echo $ID equals to, so we'll print 4 or 5 values, so that we'll understand how it is, and we'll get rid of the echo before that. Okay, and ID we need a break statement. We could have added that up top, but not a problem. And let's just try to print these two, and $name and name. All right, let's just try to print these. Okay, that's saved. So you can see the ID over here and the name over here. It's a bit congested, so let's just not print the whole data and try again. And you can see 1 Bitcoin, 2 Ethereum, and the IDs and the names of all the coins, of the top 100 coins are there. All right, so we are definitely on the right track. Let's just get rid of, so we've got symbol, website slug, rank, a lot of variables to be created. All right, so $symbol. Let's just copy this as whole. $rank. And then we have the slug. We have the supply, the circulating supply. Just create variables for each. Oops. All right. Then we have the total supply and the max supply. So we'll do total. We have max supply. Okay, let's just have a look at the structure over here. Then inside quotes, inside USD, we've got price. Okay, so we'll do $USD price equals, this is going to be long. Let's try echoing that. So we have quotes, we have USD, and we have price. Okay, let's just echo that and see if that's good. That is the API. Yes, that's good. Not a problem. Okay, we would need to write the print statement again. Not a problem again. Okay, dollar output of data of, what was that again? It was $key. Let's just get through this quickly. Okay, we then have USD volume 24-hour. So it's $output of data of $key of quotes of USD of volume 24-hour. Copy that, paste. We've got market cap, so let's just paste these over here. We've got percentage change 1 hour. We've got We'll change the variable names later. Let's just get this done. Percentage 1 hour, percentage change 24 hour. Okay. And we have percentage change 7 day. Okay. So let's just get these variable up to mark. So we have market cap, we have change per 1h, we've got per 24h, and we have per 70. Okay, so that's just for USD. We need to do the same thing but for Bitcoin. So let's just copy the whole thing, and for Bitcoin again it's price, volume, market cap, and percentage change, price, volume, market cap, percentage change. So here just find USD, replace with BTC. Okay, now this is the capital BTC. Copy, paste, 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 paste. Okay. Alright, so we've saved the prices as well. And the last thing that's remaining is last updated. It's needed, it's not needed. We'll not save it. Okay, let's just save this and see what the result is. Okay, it should actually not print anything, of course, because we are saving the data into variables. Alright, let's get rid of the print statement. Okay, so now we need to create a database which has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Around 20 to 21 parameters. So, let's just start creating that. It's going to be fun. Okay, so we do new. We do tickers. It's not a problem if you have less, we can add more anytime, but we do know that we need at least say 19. So let's just go with that. We'll see 19 different columns. Okay, so our primary would be ticker underscore ID, which is going to be the primary key. Have auto increment. Go. The next thing we have is the ID, the name, the symbol, and the rank. So ID is integer. So I'll just go through this quickly. ID is integer. The name is a text. The slug, the symbol is a varchar with 7 characters, I think. We have the rank, which is an integer. The slug, which is a text. We have the circulating supply. So circulating supply, either we can save it as a big int or a text, because it's just going to be displayed, or sorry, as a float or a text. It's really up to us. Let's just do a float. Okay, and the total supply, again a float. We've got max supply, which is a float. We've got the USD price, which is a float. We've got the volume again, a float. The market cap is something that needs to be double, I believe, because sometimes it goes too much and could cause a problem. Not really sure, but it could. Percentage change 1 hour can be a float. Percentage change 24 hours can be a float. 7 day is a float. The BTC price is a float. BTC volume is a float. Oops. I think Bitcoin market cap is not going to be much, so we can keep it as a float itself. Let's see what's Bitcoin market cap. Okay, let's keep it as float. Percentage change again, float. Percentage change 24 hours, a float. Percentage 7 day, a float. Okay, again select NODB. Verify these values. If you feel that some values are going to be null, you can set the default as null, but that's again a preference based thing. And then we click on save. And here is our table. So we've got ID, name, symbol, rank, slug, and all these other values. So writing an insert query for this whole mess is quite a lot. So what we'll do is we'll use an easier way. We go to SQL and click on insert. We get our insert query already written. You just have to copy it, and we do $SQL equals. Actually, we'll just paste it first and then do the $SQL because we need to edit it a bit. So just get rid of the values part, because that's something that we'll insert, and get rid of the ticker ID part because that is auto incremented. Okay, and then now we can do is $SQL equals to double quotes. Okay, and over here we'll start inserting values. So we'll do $ID, comma, $name, comma, $symbol, comma, $rank, comma, $slug, if I'm not wrong. Oops, where are the quotes over here? Comma, $circulating supply, comma, $total supply, comma, $max supply. We have USD price. We have USD volume. We have USD. It's easy to have some errors in this because since it's a long query, but nothing to worry about. You can actually debug it pretty easily, so it doesn't really matter. You just have to be careful with what you're typing. We do BTC underscore price. All right. All right. We've got BTC underscore 1 per hour. And we've got BTC per, okay, why is that not working? 24 hours. And we have BTC underscore PER 7 days. Okay, so the query is run. Let's just fetch the code to run the SQL from there, from our fetch.php. And we also need to include, if you don't remember that, we need, okay, it's included. All right, so it should run, but if it doesn't, don't worry about it. We'll debug it. And also one thing, we'll try, okay, fine, that's fine. Okay, so let's try running this file. Wow, no errors. So let's see if it's actually saved. Amazingly, everything worked fine in the first go, except the maximum supply. It seems to be 0. We need to change the data type, probably. it's not able to I think it's not able to fit in our existing data type. Apart from that, let's see if everything looks fine. I think it looks fine, but yeah, maximum supply is definitely a concern if it's not. Oh, actually, we don't have maximum supply in a lot of places, so I think we are correct. So let's see, max underscore supply. Oh, it's null in a lot of places, as you can see. So it's not actually our problem. Everything worked fine in the first go. Let's just compare one, which is Bitcoin, and see if all the values are correct. Refresh it. Alright, so we've got one, the ticker ID is 1, Bitcoin rank 1, the slug is Bitcoin, 1721, total supply is again 17, price 696795. Okay, is that correct? Yeah, 358 6800, that's fine, that's updated. 116116. Okay, and the percentage change is around minus 0.09. That's fine, because it's the updated data. 2.69, 6.81. Okay, that's fine. BTC price is 15295. That's correct. Again, market cap is 171. That's correct. Is the BTC market cap an integer? Let's check that, and the volume as well. It's showing, okay, it's showing as a 0.0. That's fine, and then 000. That's okay. I think this is fine. I mean, our data is updating properly. So we actually have written the code which is actually going to save the data. This is like a 46-line code. This will save the data, but what we actually need is something that should update more frequently, and the data should be called every few seconds. So let's try refreshing this and see if the data is updated. Okay, but the problem here is that the data won't actually be updated. It'll be inserted again. So even though we've got 100 numbers, let's run it and then we'll truncate it again. Okay, so we'll run it, and then you'll see that you see 200 different coins, but we have only 100 different coins in our system. So we'll truncate this table, and I'll show you how to update the data instead. Okay, so let's just continue that in the next video. Alright, so we have our data being inserted into the database. Let's just run the query again. So it's going to be finalizing /fetch data /fetch tickers. So it's getting saved into the database, but updating this data is difficult, because if we run this query again, it's going to insert another 100 rows into the database. So in order to update the current data, CoinMarketCap has IDs assigned to each of the coins which are there. So Bitcoin has 1, Ethereum has 1027, and so on. And these IDs are unique to the coins which are present on CoinMarketCap. So let's just write a query to check if the data is if that particular coin with that ID is available. So let's go to SQL, where ID is equal to 1027, which is for Ethereum, and it's going to give us that particular row. So so now in order to update it, before inserting it, we will check if that data is available. So we'll write a query called check, and we'll write it as select star from tickers. Let's add these, where ID is equal to let's convert that to double quotes, $ID, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, $ID. Alright, so we'll run this check and we'll say $result equals dollar connection of query dollar check. Oops, dollar check. All right. So once this query runs, it's going to return something, right? So we'll write a condition to check if it's returning something. That is, if it has returned some rows, then we'll check if dollar result of num underscore rows is greater than 0. That means it has returned something. Then that means that particular coin is already existing. We'll echo coin exists. Oops. EXISTS. All right, coin exists, and we'll just print out the coin name. Dot dollar name. Okay, and we'll limit this to 2 coins for now. Limit equals to 2. All right, so let's just check this out. All right, we just need to write the else condition because it'll insert it again. So if it exists, then display. If it does not, then insert. All right, let's just update it again and let's see if that works. All right, so it says coin exists Bitcoin, coin exists Ethereum, but that's because we've done limit equals to 2. All right, so these 2 coins are already existing. So what we'll do now is, if it is existing, we'll write an update query to update that data. Okay, so let's just go to this again and select SQL and get rid of this and click on update. Again, it's got all the data which is there. All right, dollar query is equal to this update query, and we'll write a where condition. So let's get rid of the ticker ID and the ID because that's something that's unique. Set name, we don't need to set the name again, we don't need to set the symbol again. Rank is something that we need to set, and slug is something that we don't need to set. Circulating supply, we can update it. Total supply, I don't think that's going to change. Max supply, I don't think that's going to change. All right, so the price is going to change, the volume 24 hours it's going to change, the market cap is going to change, the percentage of 1 hour, everything else is going to change based on the requirements. All right, so let's just update that with the values. Okay, so we have all the data over here. We'll do for rank, oops, dollar rank, let's convert this to double quotes. Okay, all right, and do dollar rank, copy this, $2 is it? Oh yes, circulating supply, it could change. Circulating supply, then we have USD price, we have USD volume 24, we have the USD market cap, we have USD percentage 1 hour. Let's get through this quickly. Percentage 7 day. BTC price. hours, the market cap in Bitcoin. Alright, percentage change in 1 hour. Percentage change in 24 hours. And percentage change in 7 days. Alright, so these things are done. You'll write a where condition over here, where ID is equal to $ID. Alright, so this will check if that particular coin exists. If it does not, it is going to insert. If it does, it's going to update the data. So let's just run it. Let's just call it something good. So we'll see update tickers, and we'll run the query, and if there's an error, it's going to display an error. Let's try this. Alright, it's going to be yes. Okay, so yeah, we also need to change the limit params in our code. Alright, so let's run it. As of now, we see 6363. Okay, let's see. Okay, no problems. And you can see the price update. So the price is updating. A lot of different things are being updating over here. So now that this is done, we'll try to run it once more, but I don't think it's going to update as frequently because the API returns, I think it updates every 30 seconds or 1 minute. Not sure about that, but yeah, it is updating. We'll try to run it after a few minutes and see if the same result is coming. Another thing that we'll do is, so this is our code to fetch the tickers, to update it, to insert it if there's a if it's not there. So let's try deleting all the data. So it's 100 rows. So we'll do operations, truncate the table. So we'll try to run it 3 times and see if we do have only 100 coins which are there. Okay, we run it once, it's going to insert. Alright, so we see 100 rows, so it has inserted. Now we'll run it the second time. We should still see 100 rows, but the data should update. Because we're doing it too frequently, it's not going to update right away. It's going to take after a while. And let's just try it once more. So we see that there is no problem in our code. So the data is updating. It'll show up after a few minutes, but at the end of the video, we'll try to run the code again, and I'll show you how the data is updating. So now we have this link which is updating the data. Obviously, you're going to have your own particular link for this. So what we'll do is we'll try to run a cron job which will update the data every, say, 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes. So let me show you how to do that. So we go to CPA. One is to do a wget and one is to do a curl. The problem with wget is it generates a lot of log files in your file manager. So you'll see a ton of log files over there. And over here, you will see, so cron jobs are basically automated tasks, which you want to run every few minutes, every few hours, every few days. So there are a lot of options over here. So if you want to visit a link every 1 minute, or if you want to run a code every 1 minute, you can set this. If you want to run a code twice per hour, if you want to run a code once per week. So there are different options to do that, and you can just set it over here and it's automatically going to run. Obviously, you're not going to refresh the page again and again and update the data. That's going to be silly. So what we'll do is we'll do once per 5 minutes. All right, and over here we'll put a command called curl space the link. Okay, and in order to add a cron job, you can just add it. If you want updates to that particular cron, you can just enter your email over here and you can get the updates, but it's totally up to you. You'll get a lot of emails that the cron has run. It's up to you. If you don't want the email, you just don't insert the email. Okay, so just add this new cron job and every 5 minutes the data will update. Okay, so let me refresh it again. I think the data should have been updated on CoinMarketCap. Let's refresh it. All right, let's see if the price, so we've got 6358, 0.04, 1.64. Let's see if that updates. All right, did you see? So we've got 6357, we've got the percentage change changing, and the other data parameters also updating. So that's one good thing that that's there on the part of the project, that we have fetched the data, we have stored the data for the top 100 coins, and we've updated the data as well. So and after 5 minutes, we've also set cron jobs, which is going to be updating the data without us intervening. All right, so let's just get back to this in the next video and see if the cron jobs are running fine, and we'll continue the project from there. Let's move on to session 3 of our course, which is the front-end build-out. So in this, we'd be using a predefined open source layout given by Bootstrap. Since this is not an HTML or CSS course, we'd be using this free open source layout created by Creative Tim, and it has got a lot of elements. We'd be using some of the elements for our work. So let's just get the layout and start working on it. It looks really nice in terms of the design, the layout. So let's just get it. So you have to go to the GitHub source, and you can download it from here. So you've got two options. You can download from GitHub. Alright, so once that's done, we'll have to upload the same to our vblockchain.space website. So let's just log into our website, and let's go to the file manager. Alright, so we go to public HTML. And over here, we've got the fetch data folder, but we do have two test files as well. So we've got one test.php and index. It's up to you, but we don't need those files. So we can just, and that's the error log. That's really up to you as well. So we can just delete those files. Let's confirm to delete, and then okay. So we will upload, and we'll drag the upload file over here. Let's wait it till it turns green. Alright, we go to file manager, we refresh it, we close that upload window, and then we'll extract it over here in public HTML. And once that's done, so we've got it inside the folder of the Argon design system. What we'll do is we'll select all and move it to the root directory. So let's just leave public HTML over there and move it. We go up one level. So now we've got all the assets and the data which is required. Let's delete the Argon design system folder, and let's just see if we've got the layout. So we go to public.vblockchain.space. Oh, I think we've got to do https:// Alright, so we've got the design over here. Alright, so we've got the buttons, we've got the icons, and we also got the inputs, the fonts. We don't actually need everything. So let me just show you how to use this and create our own page and our own complete layout out of it. We can view the landing page as well. Yeah, so this is something that we can use. We can use the header, and we can actually build something out of it. So this looks really good. So let's just get started building the front-end layout. So let's go to FileZilla and log in. I'll just refresh to get the best data. All right. So you've got examples, which has got the different examples. We'll just move one of the examples, which is the landing page. So in order to do that, we'd actually have to download it. So I'll just download it in one of my drives and then upload it to somewhere else. Okay, that's done. And then I'll upload this to the home page. Now, one thing you have to note is that the landing.html file, which is there, that is that actually has assets linked to an outside folder. So if you visit landing.html from here, you'll actually not be able to view it correctly. So if we do landing.html, it's not oh wow, that's still working fine. I thought it won't, but because the assets are linked not properly, I think some features are still not working. So let's just fix that. We'll just search for /assets, and then we'll replace it with only assets, right? And let's find also there are so many of those. Same thing goes with the top links. I think the top links need to be changed. Okay, that redirects somewhere else. Right, so we do assets and then replace all, and then we do the same for examples. And then we replace all with examples. All right, so that's much better. Okay, so we'll just copy some elements. So we'll create our own file over here. All right, so we'll create a new file and we'll name it, we'll call it cryptocurrency.html. All right, and we'll use that file to make all the changes and all the things that we need in our system. Okay, so we've got landing.html. Let's also open index.html so that we'll get all the elements that we need for our system. So we're looking for a navbar, something to go in place of the logo. We can have this header to explain, and some pre-entered text over here, and then we can have the table in the center with all the cryptocurrencies, the prices, and everything. All right. So let's do that. We won't need actually this whole page to write it. We'll also need the footer actually, so we can have this footer. Okay, so let's just start building that. Let's go to index.html as well. All right. And let's just grab one of the cryptocurrency.html is completely empty. Let's grab the header tag, and we also need some scripts from the bottom. So we'll just open the body tag. We'll add the footer which is there. We'll edit it, and then we can use it with the body tag. So let me enter the body tag first. All right. So let's just save it and see what it is. It's obviously going to be empty and not look good. We'll try to make it look better. Cryptocurrency.html. Alright, so that's how it looks. I think we missed something over there, so let's fix that. And then we'll also add the heading which is there in the landing page. So it's got the header. Let's see what this ends. Okay, so let's just get this. All right, and let's paste it at the top of our body tag. All right, so it's a start to our layout. Obviously we're going to change everything that is there in it, but yeah, we've got the header. Now we need the main component. Obviously this is not that good. We need the main component of the header as well, because it has the landing page background. So over here in the main component, position relative, let's see where this ends. Okay, so the first hero section, okay, we have to download it till over here if I'm not wrong. This is where the section ends, and then we just copy the whole thing. All right, let's have a look at it now. Okay, that looks good. And in between is our this is where the table will go, and you know, we'll just edit out the footer to have some things that we need. All right, so let's start editing out the layout, and you know, customize it to our needs and see how it goes from there. All right, so let's start from the top. We'd say coin market cap clone in the title. All right, and then we do have the branding section, but I think we don't need the image. We can say something like cryptocurrency pricing. All right, let's see how it looks. All right, so there you can see the cryptocurrency pricing, and we don't need the components or examples. We can have social media links. We don't need the download button. So let's get rid of those. So it's in this navbar. So let's get rid of getting started components and everything. That's not needed, and the examples are not needed. All right, and we do need the social icons, and we don't need the download button. So let's get rid of that li block as well. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks good. We've got cryptocurrency pricing. We've got the follow us icons. Now we need to edit this. This would be in the main section. So over here you can see a beautiful design systems completed with examples. So we'll say cryptocurrency pricing website, and I don't think we need this, do we? And actually we can center it to an extent. So let's try this. I'm not sure what display 3 does, but let's try it. All right, so we'll do text center. I don't think we need this. Okay, let's see if that goes out to the center. Okay, it's lying the center. So let's go to, so I'm sure you already know that we can inspect each element on a website with you know, the inspect section in Google Chrome, and you can actually check the code. So I'm just checking over here and just trying to make the text centrally aligned. So let's see where this goes. So it's actually lot 6. That's the reason why it's not going all the way through the center. That's how I believe it should be. All right, so it should be 12, and you can see that it's gone all the way to the center. So we do need to find somewhere. Okay, so we need to change this to 12, and we can change this to text center, or we can just make the row text center. That way everything in the row is going to be text center. All right, so over here we'll add some text description, which would say that view all the latest cryptocurrency prices and updates on one page. Seems decent. Let's check it. All right. You can see the components are there. So we can get rid of the buttons. Actually, we don't really need the buttons as well. Let's get rid of it. Hopefully it doesn't break anything on the code. Okay. And over here, so we've got 3 different boxes over here, which says download Argon, build something, and prepare launch. We can change it to live prices, 100 cryptocurrencies, and unique design. Obviously we're copying it, but it's a unique design. All right. So let's say if prices, so we'll say get all the live prices for cryptocurrencies, and we can like get rid of the badges. We don't really need the badges or the learn more button. So let's get rid of the learn more. We can say, all right, live prices, live pricing, blockchain, cryptocurrency. All right. Over here we can say 100 currencies, and we can write. You can track over about. We can track 100 different cryptocurrencies right from this website. All right, again, let's say 100 currencies. This is just random things to write. Cryptocurrency and blockchain. Again, get rid of the learn more button. All right, and unique responsive. That's it. Unique design. Okay, and it says that the website has a fresh and a unique design. All right, and we'd say design crypto responsive. All right, and let's get rid of the learn more button here as well. All right, so base of our layout is almost getting ready. It was quick. It's easy to use pre-made layouts. All right, so we've got 3 different boxes, and they do look pretty okay, you know, for a beginning website. And all right, so let's just try to remove these 2 blocks, and we can, you know, just edit it out. All right, so this would actually be the 2 images. Let's get rid of that. That would be 1 image. All right, and get rid of the second one. Okay, I don't think we need this, do we? All right, that's great. Thank you for supporting us. Let's get in touch on any of these platforms. I think this is fine. We can edit out the links. Let's keep the copyright because they actually own the code. So let's keep the copyright, and let's get rid of some of the photo links. Okay, we can have an about us page, just a basic HTML page, and we can have the MIT license for it. That's really up to you to have that. But let's keep it as it is. All right, so let's check our layout now. All right, that seems decent, but I think getting rid of the large block, LG block, for the 2 images, I think that caused this thing to come out. So let's just get it back again. Okay, let's keep it like this and remove that link again. Which one was it? Yep, this one. All right. Okay, that's saved. Alright, that's still coming that way, so let's try to fix it. I think it's a background image, so there's not much we can do about it, but yeah, let's try to fix it. Okay, so that's where the image goes. Where is the image? This one. Okay, so let's try to increase the height. Well, that doesn't work that way. Okay, so we need to reduce the top from it. Okay, so top is 470. All right, so just copy this section for the CSS and have top as 470px. So let's create a new CSS file quickly over here. Get into CSS and create a new file with just called style.css. All right, edit that file. Copy this and then do top as 470px. Actually, we need to check in different layouts as well. I think that should be fine for desktop. Yeah, that looks fine. All right. Need to top 470px and do important. All right, so the important tag is used when we need to override something, and that should be preferred over the other ones. So let's just add our style.css file to our existing layouts. I don't think we need this, but okay. And we'll add CSS style.css. Okay, hopefully this works. If it does not, we'll find a better way. I think you should. All right, it did. All right, so that worked out fine. Let's check if it's showing the correct file. I think it is. It's working perfectly fine. As you can see, it's coming in style.css, and our code is actually being applied. We'll keep the icons. We'll use this icon sometime else. But our live prices would actually go in the center of the page, and you'll actually see those prices. Let's do that in the next video, and we'll actually try to see how it looks with these elements on the website. All right, so we do have our page ready, and we need to just add a table over there. So let's just have a look at our database quickly. I'll show you how to open it again. It's we'll open PHP MyAdmin, and let's have a look at the database of how it is in terms of the data that we wrote the cron on. All right. So as you can see, the rate is 8163.51. Let's have a look at the coin market price website. It's around the coin market cap website, and it's around the same range, and it's updating. So obviously the data would be slightly different because we are updating every 1 minute. But in terms of the pricing, it looks good. So what would we need to do in order to display the prices? All right. So let's have a look at coin market cap, and they have the name, the market cap, the price, the volume, circulating supply, and the percentage changes. All right, we'll not do price graph. That's a bit complicated. We'll leave that to our next and advanced sessions. So we need some columns in the table that we want to display. All right. So let's have a look at the ones that we need to display. So we need name and symbol. That's going to be one column. We need rank. That's going to be another column. So that we've got two. It's not necessary to display the circulating supply, the total supply, the max supply. We can display the circulating supply if we need. So we'll do 3, and then we'll need the USD price. That's 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 columns, 7, 8, and 9. I don't think we'll need the 7 day. So let's just do 8 columns. That would be USD percentage change 24, percentage change 1 hour. We've got market cap. We've got the volume, the price. That would be 5 rows, and then we've got the name and symbol, that would be 6, the rank would be 7, and I think one is missing, but yeah, so that's the whole idea. Let's just write it down and we'll figure out how many we need. Okay, so let's create, so this is our cryptocurrency.html file that we have. Let's create a new section. So in this section it was the live prices and everything that was there. Let's just create our own section. It's not necessary you create a section, you can do a container as well, but since it's already there, let's create one over here, just right below, right above the footer, and all right, and then we'll create a container. All right, and we'll create a row. All right, and then we'll create a column. All right, that's going to be the biggest length that is there. That's 12 columns. So that row is going to be 12 columns wide, and then we'll have a table with class as table. We'll try to see if we want any other things that will be needed, but for now let's see what we need in our t head and the t body. All right, and in the t head we'll do th. Actually, we'll do tr first because that's the table row, and then we do th. And then the th. So we'll do rank, and oops, we'll do th. We have the name and the symbol, so we'll just call it name. Oops. Name. Then we have the, let's do the market cap and the volume. All right, then let's do the, what would it be, to be to USD price. Yeah, let's do USD price. All right, and then let's do the percentage change in 1 hour. Actually, let's keep the price at the end, and then let's add the things that we need at the top. So we'll do change in 24 hours. Okay. All right, and then I don't think we need anything else, right? So we've got the name, we've got the rank, we've got the USD price, the volume, the market cap in 1 hour and 24 hours. We don't have all the max supplies, that's why we can't display it. Let's see if we have all the circulating supplies, so we'll just add another thing to the rows. Alright, so I think we do have circulating supplies for all, so we'll do circulating supply over here right above market cap. Alright, so right now let's see how it looks. I think we'll need to do some styling along the way, so that should be expected. But yeah, let's just have a first look at the site. Okay, that's landing. It should be this one. Alright, not bad. It's not bad, but it's not great either. So let's try to see what we can do about the table. I think it's going to adjust itself according to once we have the data. So let's just start fetching the data from the database, and let's just input some data over here. Okay, if you want, we can increase the width of each table head, but each table head element, but let's just start viewing the data and accepting and showing the data over here first. So let's copy the config file that we had in fetch data, or we can just reference it, but then let's copy it outside. Alright, yeah, one more thing, we need to change the extension now from HTML to PHP. Alright, so I'll show you how to do that, but for now let's copy it and let's reference it. So okay, that's the PHP config file. Let's copy it and then create a new config file outside. Alright, and let's close our cryptocurrency.html. Then you right click here and click on rename and do cryptocurrency.php. Alright, and let's edit the config file, paste it, save it, and let's include the config file in our cryptocurrency.php file. Alright, so it's everything is the same, HTML is the same, we're just going to write PHP on top of the HTML. Alright, okay, and we'll do include PHP. Alright, so this would include config.php, and then once we want to do any operations, we can actually do it with the connection variable. Alright, so let's start fetching data from the database, and then we'll store it somewhere. Alright, so let's write a query over here. We select star from tickers, if I'm not wrong. Yep, select star from tickers. Alright, and then we do dollar result equals to dollar connection of query $SQL. Alright, so this is going to result run the query. Okay, so we run the query and then we do while the row is equal to dollar result of fetch source. So that's it. That is going to fetch the data as an associative array. Print underscore r dollar row. Alright, so let's try to run that. Oops. Alright, so as you can see over here, all the data has been fetched, and it's fetched as an associative array. So what we'll do now is we'll move this while condition. Actually, we'll move this whole code at the bottom where the table is, so that way we can directly display the data in the table. Okay, so over here, as you can see, it's t body. So over here we'll write the PHP code. Okay, and we run it over here. Okay, so that way it's going to execute inside the table, and it's going to display the results inside the table. Okay, I'll show you how. So say we want to just have rank as of now, so we'll just rank and the name. Okay, so we'll just comment this over here. All right, and say if we just want the rank and the name, All right, so we'll do echo, and then we'll do a td, or sorry, a tr first, obviously, and then td, and then we'll echo the row which has the rank. So this is the rank, so we'll do, since it's an associative fetch, it's going to fetch it as an associative array. And let's just try to execute this with the name as well. So we'll do $row of name. All right, and then just end that, and this as well. All right, so let's just try executing this. All right, refresh. As you can see, the names and the rank have appeared in the table. So that's one good thing that we have, in terms of having the name and the rank appear, and all the 100 names and ranks have appeared. Obviously, it's not correct as of now, because I think we need to sort it based on rank. So over here, we'll do order by rank. All right, and then I think this should work. All right, let's see. Oh wow, there are more than 100 that we have. Okay, so in this case, what we'll do is I'm not sure why do we have more than one at the rank 100. All right, so this is a case where I believe, let's just redo this. Believe that the data was being updated, but then if we are updating it based on particular currencies and the rank which is there, we're not actually checking the rank of the coins. So instead of displaying the rank, I think what we should do is just have okay, one sec. So as you can see, there are more than one on 99 and more than one on 100. So I think the ranks were being updated based on the coins. So for now, what we'll do is, instead of rank, we can do I++ actually. So that way it's going to increment as well as increase. All right, and we'll order by market cap descending. All right, so that way it's going to be perfect, because it's actually going to be the coins based on their market cap, which is usually the case on every website. All right, so let's see what it is now. Okay, so we don't see any results. I think there is an error. I think the market cap is USD underscore market cap, so that's the problem. So it would be USD underscore market cap. All right, refresh, and here we have it. So in this case, it's actually displaying all the coins and the ranks correctly. All right, so let's do it for all the other fields and see what we get. Okay, so we have over here DD. All right, and then the next is circulating supply. So let's see, CIRC underscore supply. Actually, let's just copy this whole block. That way you don't need to write it all over again. You can just paste it. And then the next is the market cap. So it would be USD underscore market cap. All right. The next is the volume 24 hour. So USD underscore vol 24 hour. Vol 24. That's correct. Okay. The next is is the percentage change in 1 hour, so it's be USD underscore per 1H. Alright, next would be USD underscore per 24H. And the next would be finally the USD price, that's USD underscore price. Alright, so it's coming along pretty well. Let's just see how it is on the website. Oh, there you have it. So you can actually see a bunch of different values that I think it's rank 0. We need to start it with 1. So we do IS1 and alright, let's refresh it once it's saved. Alright, so that worked fine. And as you can see, the table is displaying the coins in the order they should. So you can see the market cap 8162.4, 8157. So that needs updating. I think we need to refresh the page. Alright, so the data is being fetched: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then we've got number 10 as Tether. So that's the one. We've got the market cap, we've got the price, the volume, the circulating supply. Everything else is there. So now one issue is that it doesn't look good. Plus the circulating supply is actually there are a lot of commas there which we don't have, right? So in this case, firstly, in the field of USD price, we need the dollar, we need a percentage sign over here, we need a percentage sign over here, we need a dollar over here, we need a dollar over here. So let's just add those. All right, so we don't need name. All right, so one more thing that we need to add is the symbol. So it's Bitcoin, and then in the bracket it's going to be BTC. All right, so so let's just do that. All right, it's going to be in the bracket. It's going to be all right, dollar row symbol. All right, so we get the symbol. It's not supposed to be in a different element, in a different index. All right, so let's display the USD market cap as dollars, then the USD volume as dollars, then we do USD percentage change 1 hour. It's a percentage change, so it's going to come after. All right, and the percentage change 24 hours, and the USD price would be dollars. All right, so let's just check that. All right, so that's saved. As you can see, now we can see the dollar amount and the percentage changes as well. So let's just try to increase the size and make it a lot bigger, because I think it should be able to fit the whole section. So as you can see, the container, let's make it fluid. I think that should fix the problem. Yep, it does. So let's just change the container to fluid. This is basically helping in making the layout full width, and we actually get more space when seeing and viewing the coins. Right, so this is a fluid column. As you can see, it's updating. Let's just add some color to it as well. So let's inspect again. We'll add a color to the table header. Okay, so we'll add a background of blue. That's too bright. We can take one of this color actually. I'm not sure if the color is going to work. Let's try. Okay, that works. Alright, so let's give it a decent class over here, or an ID. Table head. Not table head. We'll do crypto t head. Alright, and we'll just go to the CSS and fetch the style.css file. Alright, and just add the code over there. So we'll do crypto t head. That's the ID, right? Alright, so crypto t head, and we'll just copy these two over here. Alright, then save it, save our cryptocurrency.php file, and let's refresh it. Okay, hold on. The next thing that we'll do is we'll try to make this more beautified. Like you can see that there are no commas over here, no commas over here, no commas over here. So we'll try to make this more beautified. Alright, so let's do for the circulating supply, let's try that. There's a function called number format in PHP that helps to do that. So that would be the number. We need the decimal point after that, so I don't think we need any decimal points after this. So it's going to be 0, and then the separator, which is the comma. Let's try this. Oops. Alright, so I think this should work, but then obviously if there are any bugs we can fix it. Okay, there is a bug. We need, let's just try it without the comma and see what the result is. Okay, so that's the ideal solution. You don't have to do anything to it to display the limiter. It's actually already inbuilt, so that's good for us. So we'll do normal format to the market cap as well. So we do number format to USD market cap. We do number format to the volume. We do number format to the, no, we don't need it to do the percentage change. We need it for the price. Now over here, I think we'd get an issue, but let's just check it out first. Alright, so over here everything else looks fine, but the problem is so the market cap is working fine, the volume 24 hours is working fine, the circulating supply is working fine, but the problem with USD price is that it's not working fine. It's not displaying the precision values. Over here we'll need the number of decimals after the decimal point, or number of numbers that are there after the decimal point. So let's get that to 2, and now it's working fine. So you can see that with a little bit of work our price table is ready. But over here, as you can see, Delta coin is one coin which is less than 1 cent. Alright, so let's search Delta coin on CoinMarketCap and see. So you can see the price is less than 1 cent. So in such cases, what we can do is we can display more characters. Okay, so we have to split this echo statement into 2. We need the splitting, even after doing this. So what we can do is we can take this take this and copy it somewhere else. So we can say that if some condition, then the price is this, else the price is this. Okay, so else would be, so if it's less than 1 cent, then we need the number to be formatted as as 4 characters, and if the price is more than 1 cent, then we can do let's do 5 numbers after the decimal point. So if row of USD price is less than or equal to 0.01, then we have to assign a variable $price. We do USD price is equal to number format this, else USD price is equal to number format 2. All right, so we print out USD price over here. All right, so let's just save it and see. All right, okay, over here. Oh, we have an error. Okay, let's see. Okay, we missed the semicolons over here. Okay, all right, so as you can see, if the price is less than 1 cent, we can see 6 or 5 numbers after the decimal point, and if it's greater than 1 cent, we just see 2. So that's the beauty of number format. We can just format as many as numbers or characters that we need after the decimal point. So yeah, it's turning out pretty well. Let's discuss more on this in the next video, and we can beautify it more and update and everything. So let's do that. Okay, so now that we have the pricing and the data structures ready for the data structured and ready for updating and modifying based on our needs, we need a few things to make it look much better than it is currently. So the first thing is that we need an icon over here, because if you see CoinMarketCap, they have an icon over here, right? And if you see all the currencies, they don't have an icon as of now. So that's one thing that we need. Second thing is that if the percentage change is more than 0, then we need to make it green. I think that's one thing which is there over here. If it's less than 0, it's red. So that's one thing that we need over here. And lastly, I think as per the API documents of CoinMarketCap, the data is being updated every 5 minutes or so. Let's check that first. Let's see, where is it? Ticker endpoint. Okay, let's search update. Okay, yeah, so endpoints are updated every 5 minutes. That means every 5 minutes the pricing on our system is going to change. So either we can refresh the table. I'm sure that in CoinMarketCap 2 we need to refresh the page. I'm not sure if they have real-time support for data updating, but I think so that the data would be updated on a simple refresh. So we'll just refresh the page after every 5 minutes or so if the user is not active, and we'll scroll them to this block, so that way he does not realize that the page was refreshed, and it would directly get him to the coin section. All right, so let's just first get the icon. So I've already opened a tab over here. I'll close that and show you how to get those icons. So you right click on this icon and you do open image in a new tab, right? And then you've got a 16 by 16 image, which is quite small. I thought we'd use a 64 by 64 image. That should suffice for us. and you can see that this is one.png, right? That means this is the ID, not the rank process. All right, so let's sort by market cap. And that should be descending, right? Yeah. All right, so sorting it by market cap, we see 1 and then 1027 and then 52 and so on. So if we enter 1027, then we get Ethereum, and then if we do 52, if I'm not wrong, is it 52? Yeah. So 52 we get Ripple. So in those terms, either a 64 by 64, we'll check the load times, and if it's a lot slower, then we do 32 by 32. But for now, we'll just copy this link, and then we have to go to our cryptocurrency.php file, and over here, just before the name, we need to enter something so that the image would be seen. All right, and then the image should be such that that should display based on the ID. So the ID field is this one, ID. All right, so we do over here an img tag with src equals. So we need the source to be equal to the ID, which it is. So the ID would be dot $row of ID, and then another dot here, and then we need the quotes to close. So over here we're starting the img tag quotes, and we are ending the img tags quotes over here. So we need to close this as well. So now this is a row of ID, and then we need a .png extension as well. So this would, what it would do is it was fetch the database, and we set the image source to row.id, row of ID.png. All right, so let's just check this out, and actually we should add some spaces after. So those spaces won't work. We can do and NBSP, that's a non-breaking space. We can add 2 non-breaking spaces, after that. So let's just okay, and let's do a refresh once that's saved. All right, so that's saved. Let's do a refresh. And those icons seem quite big, even I think it's affecting the load time too. Plus the icons are really huge, so I think we need to reduce it to 32 by 32. All right, so let's do this again. All right, yeah, that looks good. That looks good, and the page loads faster too. I think we need a bit more spacing between the icon and the text. I think we can make this bold as well too, so it comes out more appealing. So let's add 2 more non-breaking space, and we can just bold it. So just a B tag, and after the symbol we'd end the B tag, so that way the heading would be bold. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. So this is how it's being displayed, so it looks really well. Now let's move on to the part where the percentage changes are bold as well as colored. Okay, so let's check that out. I think we need 1 or 2 blocks of code, or 3. I'm not sure if we'd have 4 combinations actually, because we've got 2 percentage changes. We'll have 4 combinations. I mean, there is a way to do it with JavaScript. It's a bit complicated. That's why I'll do it with basic PHP. JavaScript way is pretty simple. You just write one function and it determines automatically. But let's do it with PHP. We'd have 4 combinations. The combinations would be percentage change 1 hour and percentage change 24 hour is positive. One is negative, the other one is negative. I and the other one is positive. So those are two conditions, and the next one would be both are negative. I think we'd have both conditions. So this is one condition, one is 0%. So with 0%, we'll do it green to not reduce complexity. All right. So so in order to solve this, what we'll do is we'd actually assign the whole percentage change block to a variable. That way we can set the color there and there itself. All right, and we'll just print the variable inside over here. I hope I'm being clear. So what I'll do is I'll take this whole section. So let me just give you an example. I'll take this whole section that starts with percentage change 1 hour. What I'll do is I'll do $per1h equals to that particular section. So it's going to be inside quotes, and I'll do a semicolon, and then over here, if I'm not wrong, over here I'm just going to print that section over there. So just add that section over there, so that way we're not actually writing the TD block over there, but we are just entering the percentage change block of code over there, and let's just hope that it works fine. Let's try it. Alright, so as you can see, the percentage change 1 hour is working perfectly fine. Alright, so the same thing I'm going to do is do with 24 hours, but then we'll just write the conditions over here. So if $row of percentage 1 hour is greater than equal to 0, that is percentage change 1 hour is 0, and $row of percentage 24 hours is greater than equal to 0. I think it should be 0.0 since these are float values, so we need to compare it with float. So if it's greater than 0, then percentage change 1 hour we've already written, and we'll write $per24 hours equal to it's equal to this, so it would be this whole block. Let's just keep it for now. And all right, and okay, I said something wrong. All right, so let me just back up for a moment. I'll not copy the quotes because that's causing a problem, and paste it, and then I'll put the quotes individually. All right, and then semicolon, and then we have to get rid of this, and it is only going to be okay dot $per24h. all right, so if this is the case, then we need to style it in such a way. I'll just write an inline CSS. We can add a class actually yeah, we should add a class. So we do class green and class green, and then in the style.css we do .green color green. For now we'll do just green, and then once we find out a good color, we change it. So if class is red, we'll do color red. Okay, and save that, and then over here we'll write one more condition, else if, and then just copy paste this whole block again. So if percentage change 1 hour is less than 0, then and 24 hours is greater than 0, that means 1 hour is red and the other one is green. We do red, and again else if, again copy the whole code. That's what I have. I'll copy this code. So if this is the case, then so if this is greater than 0 and this is less than 0, then we need the opposite. This needs to be green and this needs to be red. else both are red, because that's the only condition that will remain. All right, let's check this out. All right, hopefully everything turns out fine. All right. Okay, so the colors are not being assigned. Okay, it is now. So as you can see, the colors are being assigned. I think we need to make it bold and a brighter green and a brighter red. So let's do that now. As you can see, so these both are green. If it's minus, then both are red. That's the else condition. The last else condition, this is if this is greater and less, so that's one condition. And let's find out the last condition, which is red and green, this one. So all the conditions are actually working fine. So let's just try to edit the green and the red colors, and we'll actually increase the font weight as well. All right, so over here we can set the font weight as 700, so that looks pretty good. All right, so that's the green color. We'll just paste it in style.css, and let's look at the red color. It actually looks good, but let's make it a bit more matching to our theme. And I think we should do this green color instead, but yeah, let's try it. Font weight as 700. So yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, let's try the green once again with the color that's provided. All right, so that actually matches the theme more. So we'll just set this green color. All right, so now that that's done, you'll see the colors more vibrant, and the overall layout is looking pretty good. So let's refresh it, and as you can see that the colors are coming as it is. It does look pretty good. We can make it look better by making the price bold too. So let's do that. Basically just adding a B tag. All right. Okay, awesome. That looks really good. Okay, so we do have our 100 coins being displayed, and we've set the colors as well. So we'll see what more we can do with this in the next video. All right, so our website is turning out to be really good. We've got a lot of things on the website in terms of displaying the data and having things done on the website, but there's still some features that we need to add, like we need to add a sort and search filter. We also need to make it responsive. I believe that this is not responsive, so you cannot actually scroll it. So we need to do a lot of things in terms of responsiveness, because it's actually just displaying so let's try iPhone 10. It's actually just displaying the first two tables. In order to take care of those things, we'll start with just adding a heading over here saying live cryptocurrency prices. All right, so that would make it more clearer in terms of having things out there. So let's add a div. We'll give it an ID of live. Okay, it's an ID, so live, just a crypto heading, CRYPTO heading. All right, and over here we'll add an h1 tag with the class text center, which would center it. All right, and in this we'd say live cryptocurrency pricing, or prices. Actually, that sounds much better. All right, so let's check that. All right, so let's format it a bit to make it look much better. How can we get this font? It has display 3 as the class. Alright, so we'll do display 3, and I think it has a bottom margin as well, or is that a padding? Alright, so, and let's do this then. Okay, this one has 2. So we need to reduce the space in between over here. So in order to do that, we'll just remove the padding top from the section. I think we need to add an inline CSS, or we can just do a minus padding. Is that better? No, that's not going to work. So we'll do 0 rem, and that's actually going to fix a lot of things. So let's just start with editing this. In our section, we'll just add an inline style. Alright, and then we'll add this to have a higher font weight. So let's do font weight 700. That's a lot. 500, 600. Yeah, 600 looks fine. And let's add a small margin bottom actually, which is of 20px or more, or 50px. Yeah, that looks much better. And we'll add this to our crypto heading section, h1. So we'll do crypto heading h1 as the class, and over here we'll do dot crypto heading h1 and then paste our code over there. Alright, should we make it capitalize? That looks much better. So we'll make it capitalize as well. Alright, let's see how it looks now. Much better. Alright, so we've got live cryptocurrency pricing, and we've got our table as well over here. So let's do the sorting part. In order to do the sorting part, what we have to do is you have to Google data tables. So that's the best website, I believe, where sorting happens well, and it's pretty simple to sort with it. So let's go to the download section. We can include the CDN, but let's go to the download section so that we have a better view of it. We'll do Bootstrap 4. One sec, I think we need to do yeah, I think Bootstrap 4 is fine because we're installing it with Bootstrap 4, and we need data tables. I don't think apart from this we need anything else. So let's copy these 2 links and let's add them to our cryptocurrency.php file over here. We also need to add a link to our script.js because we will be writing, actually we'll just write the script here because it's not that long script, so we'll write it in the script tag. This would be used to initialize data tables. So let's have a look in data tables over here. Let's go to examples, 0 configuration, and as you can see, it is just adding example of data table. That means our table would actually be structured in this way. That means we can show just 10 entries, 25 entries, 100 entries, and so on. Alright, so over here let's add this. Now this is the ID of the table that we have, so we need to assign an ID to the table. So if we go to the table, we assign an ID which says crypto table. Alright, and just copy this and paste it where it should belong. Alright, hopefully everything was done correctly. Let's see how it looks on our front end. Okay, so somehow data tables was not active, and we can see that over here we are having some issues with with data table being executed. So let's find out what the issue is. Let's try once more. Alright, so data table is clearly not executing on our website. Alright, see, the error is actually quite trivial. Having a look, that we missed a small slash in between, so that's the reason why it wasn't processing. So now that we have jQuery and the data tables, it should work fine. And as you can see, it's actually working very well. So it's showing us the different pages and sections, and you know, it's showing actually 115 different currencies. So that's fine. But we need to be able to. It's obviously sorting and searching and doing everything in its power to display the data, so we can sort with the lowest price to the highest price. A lot of things are happening in this, and we can show 100 different currencies. We can actually also search different currencies. So even if we want to search, say, Bitcoin, so all the ones with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you know, other currencies that are there, they do work fine as well. So that's a really good thing that is there. We just need to fix a couple of small things, just like this previous. And I think we should also, you know, display more currencies on each page. It's just an opinion sort of, but I think we can do 25 as the default one. So let's just head over to the data tables manual and just find out default. It would be entries, default display number. Let's try that. Table display length and options. So we've got that. I'm not sure if this works, but we can try this. And for some reason this is not. Okay, let's try to search that again. Length. All right, let's try this one. Inside of our data tables, it's 25. And as you can see, by default it's displaying 25 entries. Let's fix this this previous icon as well. I hopefully believe that the CSS is a bit messed up for the previous icon. Just for the previous icon, right? Yeah, so we can do width of 200 px. That's too much. Actually, okay, let's try this one sec. Okay, so that's how it is. Width of 20 px is a bit less. So in this case, what we can do is background none is also not working. That's the main issue. Okay. Okay, so it should be in the pagination display list style. That's still not good enough for us, because it actually has a circular background, and I think that's a border. Quite funny. Okay, so it's over here, so it is actually a border, because it looks like a color, so we do border. Okay, so that actually fixes it. If we give a border none, and then we can give a padding right to 20px, so that fixes it. But then we need to make the same for the next, so that it looks better. So we just add the color of this color, and hopefully this fixes it. Okay, let me get rid of this and this. Alright, so we do this and we do padding right 20px. Alright, it should come in the right section. You can see that the previous is okay, so even when it's selected, we need to do that change as well. So if something is selected, then we need to work on that part. Okay, length first child, so border none, and then we need a padding right of 20px. I'm not sure why the color didn't come. It should. Alright, so one more thing to add to our code. Oh, we didn't add the color. That's the reason why. Okay. Okay, so we need to do the same thing with next, but let's test out the previous part first. And that's one more thing that we need to fix. Alright, so that looks pretty good. It's the same in all the different cases. Okay. So let's fix the hover part as well. So we force the state as hover. Okay, that still doesn't work over here. Let's try this. Now let's try forcing the state to hover. As you can see, we have a strange background which is there. So we can actually get rid of the background, and let's say background color none. Alright, or white. Actually, white should be better. Okay, so that's one more thing that we need to do. Background white. Background color doesn't make a difference. Let's fix it. Okay, alright, so we've tried to fix a lot of things in terms of the previous icon. Let's do that in terms of the next icon as well, and I believe it looked much better when it was in the center, so we'll do that too. So that's the last icon, or the last child. Let's refresh and actually check that out first. Okay, previous is working perfectly fine. Alright, so let's do the next very quickly. So this would be border none. Okay, it's actually quite similar to what we have for the first child. So let's just copy this section and let's paste it onto the side. And we don't need a padding right, in fact, for this one, because this looks perfectly fine. Alright. Okay, so that looks really good. At the end, when the last element is clicked, I think that's where we'll need a bit of padding. So I think this should be it. Let me do padding left of 20px. That's a bit much. Let's do 10px. Alright. And hopefully that fixes it. Okay. There's a weird adjustment going on over here. So I think we need to stick to 20px. After all. Okay, it's still adjusting. So in that case, we don't need to do it to this element. I have to find the default one. Okay. It has got a weird shift to it, so I think this is something that needs to be fixed. All right. So when the link is disabled, that means when it is this, okay? So when the link is disabled, it's when it's at number 5, right? And we are setting the padding to be 20px at the right. So that's the reason why that's happening. So we have to get rid of this link, this padding right over here, and we'll fix the previous one. Alright, so here you see no shifting going on, and that actually looks so much better than the previous one, and that's the reason why we've done that. So that's working well. Alright, that's great. Alright, so let's try to put this in the center like we did the other time as well. So I think it was display flex was good. Okay, so we just need to justify content to the center. Okay, it's to the end. So actually that looks pretty good. We'll increase the margin as well, so you know that looks much better. I don't think we need to show the number of entries which are there, so we'll get rid of that too. Let's just copy this first and paste it. We don't need the center section. Let's have a look at it in, yeah, that looks so much better. Okay, refresh it again. Okay, that didn't work, and I think we should do the important tag. Okay, it's just the end, right? So I think here's why this is not working. Okay, that worked fine. The important tag actually did the trick. We need to do that for this as well. Alright. And we'll hide the showing entries because that's something that we don't really need actually. Okay. So it looks much cleaner in terms of, you know, the whole look of the web page. I think this needs an important tag too. So just with a bit of CSS, we've got more than 100 different currencies that are there. We can search, we can sort We can go to previous and next pages, and it looks really good. So in the next video, I'll actually show you a few more things which would be helpful. So we'll do the responsive part in the next video. Alright, so the website looks pretty well in terms of displaying on the desktop, but as we move to mobile, you can see that this table does not actually scroll well on the mobile phone. So this is something that we need to fix, and there's a very easy fix that we can give to the website. So right before the table section, we can add a small block of code. It says div class equals table hyphen responsive, and at the end of the table we just need to close that div. Alright, so this would actually make the table responsive and scrollable, because as of now it's actually not scrollable. And once this is saved, we'll see that the table is actually scrolling fine, and it works fine on the mobile phone. This is how it is. So you can actually see the prices and do a lot of things on the mobile phone without actually being on the desktop. You can search over here. So if I do Bitcoin, that's also possible. You can show more currencies. I can do 100, and it's going to show all the 100 different currencies which are there. So that's the whole idea of making the site responsive. But the problem over here is if you do justify end, it's not really functioning fine in terms of the data being displayed on the mobile phone. Right, so we need to find something that is going to fit well on the mobile phone. So let's try to get rid of this, and you can see that flex end is working fine on the mobile phone, but center is something that works fine on the phone, specifically for the phone and responsive devices. So what we'll do is we'll use justify center, but we'll do it with media queries. So if you're not aware of media queries, let me just Google search media queries for Bootstrap. So we can actually write different CSS for different layouts of our website. So that's one thing that we can do is if you want to change the way a container or an element looks on our website on the phone, we can change the way it is and how it looks. So let's just try to do this with medium devices. So with medium devices, we'd go to style.css, and over here we'll write our media query, which would be this, but it would be center. Alright, let's just see. But the minimum width is 768, but so that's where we need to take we need to have a look at our website and see what the minimum width is. So we'd actually do max width, so landscape phones less than 768 pixels. So I think this should be a better call. Let's just have a look. I think it's not going to work, but there's no harm in having a look at it. Alright, so as you see, it's not working fine. So we'd actually do max width this much. So I think this should suffice our requirements. So let's try it again. As you can see, it's actually in the center. So that's something that's fixed, and you can actually go to different pages on the website itself. So and we can just close it, and you can see it's on the desktop. It's in the center, in the dead center as well. So that's something that we did. We added a responsive section to our website. We then also fixed a few things on the website, such as the bottom bar and and yeah, that's one of the important things for making the site responsive on our website. Alright, so the website looks really good in terms of having the prices, the icons, the market cap, the volume. Only one thing that remains is having the data being updated every few minutes, because CoinMarketCap updates the data every 5 minutes. So we need to make sure that if the person is on the website for more than 5 minutes or more than 2 minutes, the data should actually refresh based on our cron. So let's write a small function which we would use. It's called set timeout. It's a regular JavaScript function which is there, which would actually refresh the page after every few seconds or few minutes. Let's just write this function, and let's see what it can do. Alright, so we write this function, and in this function itself we'd say window.location.href, which would be our link to cryptocurrency.php. Alright, and we need to do it after every 5 seconds. Alright, so after every 5 seconds this page would actually refresh. So let's see what it can do. Alright, so let's see if it actually refreshes after 5 seconds. And as you can see, the page is refreshing after 5 seconds. Obviously, we'll not need it to refresh every 5 seconds. We need it to do it every, say, 2 minutes. And once it's done, we need, because if a user is on this section watching the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum and the other currencies, we want it to scroll to that section. All right, so what we'll just write a small code to animate that part of the scrolling. That way it gives a nice feature to the website as well. So just follow along. It's under regular script for in jQuery for animation. So it's HTML body and animate. We're writing it after the data tables because we need to process the data tables first and only then animate it. All right, so animate semicolon over there, and then we'll do scroll top, and we'll go to the crypto heading section because that's where the heading is. So if you can just have a look. So it's actually going to this div ID that we set a while ago. All right, so it's going to be crypto hyphen heading dot offset dot top. All right, so this would actually scroll to that particular div. And how much time should it take to scroll? We'll do, say, 2.5 seconds. Let's see if this works. Alright, so let's refresh the page once more, and on refresh it should actually scroll down to that section of the div. Okay, and as you can see, it scrolled down to that particular section, but it's not working particularly fine. Let's see what's the issue with it again, because it should actually do this scrolling effect that we see over here. I think we missed a comma over here, and let's check it now. Okay, let's see after 5 seconds what happens. As you can see, the website actually scrolled to the section of the pricing. So that's a really nice feature to have, but we don't need it to be refreshing every 5 seconds. This is quite annoying, so let's change that time over here, every 5 seconds, to every 2 minutes. That would be 120 seconds. So 1000 milliseconds is 1 second, so it's 120,000 milliseconds. All right, yes. And now it's actually going to update after 2 minutes, but then obviously since this is working for 5 seconds, it's going to work for 2 minutes. So we don't really need to check it every 2 minutes. I think that should work fine. And on refresh, it's scrolling. I did a refresh manually, by the way. And I think that's the end of the course. All right, so let's conclude and finalize a few elements of our website. We just remove this section, cryptocurrency.php, and make the website the home page first. So let's go to public HTML. We don't need all the other elements which are there on the home page now. So we'll clean up everything, and we'll just have one file, which is index.html, index.php actually. So what we'll do is we'll delete all this changelog. We need the config.php too. We don't need the index.html. We don't need the lining. We can keep these files. It's up to you. If you don't need it, if you need it, it's up to you. All right. If you need the error log, that's really up to you. We can delete these 8 files, and once that's deleted, what we can do is we can rename this cryptocurrency.php to index.php. all right, and once that's done, we just have to visit the home page, and as you can see, our website is actually live. Okay, so we've learned a lot of things in this course. We first learned about what Bitcoin was, what were cryptocurrencies, and how cryptocurrencies can change the way we bank and how we can do transactions across the world. Then we did something to fetch the data and store it into the database. We also did a part where we'll update the database via cron jobs. We have a cron job which is running. We built out the elements of the front end, and also we displayed all the coins that were there on the website. We also then imported the images from CoinMarketCap. We changed the colors of the percentage changes based on the percentage change. We added the market cap, we added commas in between, we added filters to search and sort different currencies based on their name, based on their circulating supply, their volume. So many things were done throughout the course, and we also fixed a lot of CSS. We made the site responsive, and finally we did a few finishing touches to refresh the data and to save the to refresh the data on the front end and to scroll it to that particular section on the website. So all in all, there was a lot of learning that was there, but as a beginner who's trying to get into cryptocurrencies, this is the course you have to go to understand the aspect of cryptocurrencies. All right, so we just need to do one final fix, is that we need to replace this with nothing. All right, so while it was updating, we need to refresh that section of the code with nothing else, because it's the index.php file. So this should actually work well. All right, so thank you for taking this course, and we'll go through more courses. I'll also let you know about the community for vBlockchain in the next video. So one last thing that I want to run through you on this course is that if you have any questions or queries that you have with the course, with blockchain, with cryptocurrencies, or anything that you need in general, you can always ask your questions on this website, community.vblockchain.io. all right, so it's very simple. You just have to sign up with a username. So if I say vblockchain space, and the email is I'll do pavneet@vblockchain.io, and I'll enter a password and sign up. Alright, so you get a confirmation mail, and then once you confirm your mail, you'll be able to start discussions. You'll be able to take part into discussions. Just the whole idea of following different topics and everything. So you can mention people. So this whole place where you can actually talk to each other, communicate with each other, and discuss more on different topics. This can be done on this particular community. So just share this, and you'd always get a reply from me or one of my team members for any queries that you have regarding the course. I'm actually going to create a channel over here for the course, for the training course. So you can obviously always ask questions over there as well. All right, thank you.